this will have been very nice. Let me see. All right. Please manage it for us for now. Until one day we are going to get better. We're going to have a very good system. Until then, please manage it for us. Hi. Thank you, everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. Let us welcome everybody to today's conversation. We are going to be looking at the cosmology of gods and how we individuals, we that have been experienced, that we, all of us humans, how God, first of all, we are going to look into the ways of humans and how the cosmology of God come to be. Okay, so we're just starting on Facebook. See? Okay, so I think we are good to go. Even though if I have positioned this way, it would have been. No, it's okay. We are good to go. We're good to go. No problem. We're good to go. All right. So good greetings to you all. Sorry, everybody. Sorry for the delay. We're just trying to set up things, and it's not. We set things up at the same time, and then we are starting. So, all right, we're good to go. So, respectful greetings to all of you that is listening to the sound of my voice. Thank you very much for your patience. Thank you very much for for being here with me. Thank you very, very much for wanting to go into this conversation with me. Today we are going to be inquiring on who is hell. El. I believe a lot of people have heard about this word and they have used this word a lot of times in their prayers. Elohim, El Shaddai, Zuru Shaddai, you know, um, um, uh, Adonai. A lot of people have used these words a lot. Adonai, Elohim, El Shaddai, Zuru Shaddai. And then a lot of people use this word, Elyon. They even use it, to give to their children. They use it to name their children. They use it to, to start the business, to put a school. Actually, when I was young, there was a primary school that I knew that was called Elyon Nursery and Primary School. So a lot of people use these names a lot, but they don't know what is the origin of the name. They don't know how does the name, what does the name actually do? From where is the name from? What they only know is that the name is in the Bible. And because it is in the Bible, so yes, it is a name that is connected to the Creator. Now, we are going to have an introspective look on this cosmology. Before we start this introspective look into the cosmology, we are going to look into how human civilization have started. Because you must understand that God worship is connected to human civilization. Human civilization is connected to God worship. If there is no human civilization, there is no worship of gods. If there is no worship of God, there is no human civilization. That is what differentiates. Actually, this is what differentiates the human civilization from the animal civilization. Because in the animal civilization, they don't worship God in the animal civilization, but in the human civilization, which is in the human kingdom, There's the worship of God. So we are going to be looking into this. We are going to be looking into this, and looking into this is going to take us some time. So I humbly beg you to be patient with us. But in as much as you are learning, if in as much as you are hearing, and you are also going to be learning, please don't stop, sharing. Don't stop sharing. Don't stop sending your gift. That doing that is one way that you really encourage, me as the teacher, the host. This is one of the way you encourage me, sharing your gift, and tapping on your screen and sharing, and also commenting is also very nice, but try to keep the comment more civil. I humbly beg you. This is a quick housekeeping before I start the conversation today. Try to keep the comment civil. Don't bash anybody. No one is bashing anybody here. Just listen. And I know that everybody have questions to ask at the end of the conversation. When I finish presenting my thesis and my theory to all of you, then there will be open space and a lot of ample time for questions. And don't worry, I love answering questions. That is one of the things about me. I don't know why, but I like questions. When people ask questions, I really like it, because we are able to talk, we're able to give answers to people and everything like that. Secondly, also please do subscribe. To so many of you that are my subscribers that have subscribed, I really really appreciate you all. To all of you that have subscribed, your subscription is one of the strong impetus that makes me to wake up every day and makes me to get myself ready, and wanting to deliver and share so many deep secrets to so many of you, because of your subscription. I really really appreciate you all abundantly. To all of you that are our active subscribers, I really appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. They say if you love a person, how do you really show your appreciation for the person? It is by supporting the work of the person. So to all of you that are really supporting me, supporting our work, supporting our effort, I appreciate all of you. You know yourself, and from wherever you are, inside of you, I'm giving you a big hug from me to you. To all of you, that every one of you, a big hug we're giving to all of you that are active subscribers and everything. So I'm also saying to all of you, please do subscribe. It will be very nice. Okay, for before I start this conversation, I would like to do a little mindful breathing. This is one of the way I always start my conversations. And also do like and follow us, for more, for you always be like, you get a lot. All right, so today I'm going to do a little breathing exercise. You don't need to follow me. Just let me get myself in the mood, and then we start this conversation today. All right. Thank you all for your patience. Is El the father of Elyon? For us to understand this conversation, let us go back into the beginning of time. For going back into the beginning of time mm, helps us to understand the beginning of all of this. In the beginning of time, since time immemorial, man has always made progress. The first kind of men that were in the world, that was recorded in the world, was the Homo erectus. Now, how does man transition from the Homo erectus to become the Homo sapien? And from the Homo sapien to become a neanderthal? From a neanderthal to become the intelligent men that we have right now? My voice is going to be a bit slow, but I want you, because I want to explain my theory to all of you. The human civilization started. When the human civilization started, what you have first was the civilization of hunter-gatherers. Men that goes to hunt, that goes to gather, and goes to, that's what they know. They don't know anything about farming. They don't know anything about, cultivation. They don't know anything about, keeping animals in the house. All they know was just survive. How to survive was the primordial focus of the early ancestors. Now, how did the early ancestors change from that point to this point to this point to this point that we have right now, which is the intellectual man that is speaking to you right now? So many biologists, so many geographers, so many people, religious people, philosopher people, have given so many explanations to this, but no one has been able to pinpoint how did it all start. If you look into the Bible tells you that man was put into the Garden of Eden. After being put into the Garden of Eden because men reveled or rebelled against God, they were removed from the Garden of Eden. Now, being removed from the Garden of Eden, they start learning to feed and to fend for themselves. But then we see, if you look into the ancient Greeks, the ancient Greek, the ancient, the ancient Greek, because majority of the influence of the knowledge that we have right now is coming from ancient Greek. Majority of the influence of knowledge, the knowledge of the knowledge of calculation, the knowledge of mathematics, the knowledge of science, and all of that is coming from ancient Greek. If you look into this ancient Greek and you try to compare this knowledge, it also tells you a different story. To look into it, you look into the different archaeological sites and the archaeological digs of people. We look into the archaeological site and the archaeological digs of different people and what different people has found, but then you find out that every one of them is trying to give you a story. One thing that you find common in all structure, in everything that is being done, is that everybody is trying to give you a story. Everybody is trying to give you a story. And because everyone is trying to give you a story, nobody is actually able to give you a comprehensive story. Because you must understand that from one religion to another religion, one religion believe that what? The comprehensive understanding of creation starts from this point. Another religion believe that what? The comprehensive understanding of creation starts from this point. So there's this war. There's this war for what? The belief of how creation started. There is this, then there's also in the human mind. There is this confusion to do what? I know more better. I know how creation starts, but no one knows how creation starts. To be able to understand creation, you must look into the past, because the past is the key to the future. And it is a fact. Everything that is happening right now, everything that is happening, being created or not created, is nothing but an offshoot of the past. All knowledge of creation, medicine, science, husbandry, animal taming, animal petting, plant how do you call it, plant cultivation, is all knowledge of the past. There's nothing that is a knowledge of the new. Nothing. Now, if we look back into the ancient sites, or we look into the different points of source of life, a question people don't ask is, how did a man that was nothing but a hunter gatherer automatically just transform overnight and become a farmer? What was it that created that transformation? And this is the point that humans don't know, which is every 3,600 years, there is an automatic transformation in the human civilization. Meaning, a new set of human beings, a new set of thinking humans comes into existence. But how did it come? Nobody is able to give an explanation of how did this happen. Every 3,000, I'm saying it again, every 3,600 years, there is a new set of mental thinking in the human civilization, which means that for some time, the knowledge that the human civilization knows stays for some time. And after some time, it starts dwindling. And after it starts dwindling, just like an overnight, like something just happened overnight, boom, another source of thinking pattern, another source of thinking humans just comes into being. And this has always been so since time immemorial. And that is why no one is going to be able to say this is how the humans that were born as hunter gatherers, that were just Homo erectus, automatically just become Homo sapiens. No one is able to give an explanation as to that. And this is what I want us to start analyzing before we come to the question of who is El? Is El the father of Elyon? Now, I know that there are people that knows a lot. I know that you know more than me, but I want you to keep your thoughts to yourself for now, and just if you can allow yourself to be carried by others, you will be able to find out that what you think you know is different. And you'll be able to understand so many other things from a different perspective. Just allow yourself to be carried, and do not bring your ego into this. Do not interject your ego into this. Same also with religion. Humans follow a particular religion. That kind of religious practice stays for some time. And just after some time, the humans start getting bored in that kind of religious practice. And after some time, boom, another set of way of belief just comes into being. But no one is able to say, this is how it started. And this is how it has always been. For every 3,600 years, there is always a shift in the human consciousness. There is always a different species of thinking human that comes into existence. But now the question is, what is it that influences that 3,600 years? What is it that comes and interject every 3,600 years? Let us look at it from the past. Human civilization, for so many times, it have been debated that the human civilization came from Africa. But also Africa does not show any recorded history of how human civilization came from there. Although a lot of people, based on what the notion of favoritism in their head, will always want to accept that human civilization came from Africa. But according to recorded fact and recorded histories, which are based on archaeological sites and archaeological digs that has been done, it has been proven that human civilization did not originate from Africa, but actually it has its source in ancient Mesopotamia. Now, what is Mesopotamia? A lot of people say ancient Mesopotamia is towards Babylon, which is around Iran. Okay, understood. But then you must understand that Mesopotamia is nothing but an offshoot of an earlier civilization before that, which is what? The civilization, the Sumerian civilization. And the Sumerian civilization is nothing but also an offshoot. There was a civilization before the Sumerian civilization, which is what? The Akkadian civilization. The Akkadian civilization is also an offshoot of another civilization that predates this. And in all the sites, there have been recorded histories that have always been recorded that speaks about how this civilization started. From the hunter-gatherer stage of human evolution to the man just becoming a farmer. The man just woke up and the knowledge of farming come to him. The man just woke up and the knowledge of let me do it like this, let me do it like just came to him, but he cannot really give an explanation as to how that knowledge came to him. He cannot really give an explanation as to what is it that influences that inspiration that comes upon him. Same thing with music. A lot of people have created so many wonderful music, but they cannot really tell you this is how that inspiration that made me to create this music came to be. They just woke up and they just find themselves doing it. But now, what is that inspires them? This is what we are going to be looking into right now. So it has been seen and it has been understood that since time immemorial, when man starts gathering plants and start planting, agriculture did not start in Africa, although a lot of people want to believe that agriculture started in Africa, but agriculture did not start in Africa, but actually it started in ancient city of Arcadia. And because it started in ancient city of Arcadia, which is where towards the eastern side of Mesopotamia, towards the eastern side of Sumeria. Please listen, just listen. And because it started there towards the eastern side of Mesopotamia, from that, humans started going into pottery. Now, they just woke up overnight. After doing agriculture for some time, they become so prosperous in agricultural making, then they don't know what to do anymore. There was an abundance of agriculture that they started, cultivating plants, knowing how to capture plants. It has been recorded that the first tamed animal was a dog. And the dog was not tamed based on, okay, for protection of the family. The dog was actually tamed for food. After taming the dog for food, then they started keeping the dog in the house. Now, all the kind of grains that we have right now are actually not this way. The kind of grains, the rice you have right now, the wheat you have right now, the barley, the parsley, the different types of wheat, the banana you have right now were actually not the original state. They were nothing but offshoot of the wide berries, the wide rice, the wide grains that humans in the ancient, it is written. There was no written fact that in ancient Africa, a man tamed rice. It is not there. It is not there. In the ancient, okay, he said put it here in the first 35 BC. 35 BC. It has been recorded due to what? The recording of time, of how humans started recording and started storing, cultivating rice out of what? Wide grasses. Cultivating rice out of wide grasses and now storing the rices. Now it is also recorded that 99% of all the different rice, pulse, and berries that we have right now are all nothing but descendants of that which was first cultivated in ancient Arcadia, in ancient Sumeria. And that was spread towards the European, there was a Indo-European culture, which are people that have similar languages, but it is diverse. And the Indo-European culture that have similar languages that are diverse are spread towards the different European countries. Now you see that Africa is not part of it. The African language, which started with the hieroglyphics and all of that from ancient Egypt, that is a different terminology which we are going to look into before I continue in the process of this conversation. While this Indo-European civilization was going on, Greek was one of the easy way of channeling, and you can see that the way for Greek was because of due to the Cyprus, due to what? The channel of Cyprus. And being due to the channel of Cyprus, the people were able to cross migrate. Not just only cross migrating, but they were able to share knowledge. And then it was said that in that city of Sumeria, there was a king that said he owns the city. And it is a city of world city. And he called himself the wise God. They are called the wise leader, wise master, the wise one. Being called the wise one, they ruled over the whole city. And he said, it is recorded. You go and read it. It is recorded in the tablet that he says he ruled over the people and over the Mediterranean Sea. Not just only over the Mediterranean Sea, but all over the Gulf of the sea and ocean and lands around there. He was the ruler of that. And being the ruler of these, he had possessions over the people. Not just only having possessions over the people, but he was called the wise ruler. And being called the wise ruler, it is also recorded that he said he got his inspiration to rule from what? His own God. Now, after the human have transitioned from that of being a grain keeper to now they start having the knowledge of pottery. From that having the knowledge of pottery, they now transition to having the knowledge of iron. When pottery was in abundance, there's always one thing that is there in the human civilization, which is also one thing that I have observed. When the knowledge is particularly abundant, there is always a period whereby that knowledge, the people start getting less interested in that knowledge. Because what? There is an abundance of it. And because there's an abundance of that knowledge, when the people start getting disinterested in that knowledge, boom, all of a sudden, there's another form of knowledge that just offshoot out of that thing from nowhere. An explanation is this. For some time, humanity have worshipped and prayed through the Christian ways for some time. And they follow a particular code of dressing, a particular code of conduct, a particular code of behavior. But now, out of a sudden, boom, from nowhere, you are seeing people that are Christians, but now they are pastors and prophets. They are dressing and plaiting their hair. They are putting so many tattoos, and that is becoming a norm. And this will become a norm for some time. For what? Everything in the human civilization is always passing through a process whereby it passes through a stage whereby it is there, it stays in abundance, and out of that thing, something just comes out, boom, out of that. Always, it has always been like that in every civilization. It has always been like, and this is also how the Sumerian, the Akkadian, the Sumerian, the Mesopotamia, which is ancient Babylon, which is also recorded in the book of in the Bible, in the book of Hebrew. You read the book of Hebrew in the Bible. You read the book of Hebrew. You will see about the civilization and how the people mingled together. Now, the point we are going to talk about here, after knowing all of this, it is also understood that in all culture, everyone believed that their God came through them through the medium of the sea. If you look into all cultures whereby they depict how did the gods came to be, it is written and it is said, the gods came through them through the medium of the sea. The Egyptians recorded that the first time they saw their gods came to them through what? The medium of the sea. Thought came through the eastern side of the Nile, was in a boat and it came through the eastern side of the Nile. Zeus, and the Greek also recorded that Zeus came from inside of the ocean. He came to them from inside of the ocean. Same also with Aphrodisia, which is also another sister of Zeus. It also said that she came from the not the ancient part of the river. And then it is said that Aphrodisia, which is said to be born from the genital of Kronos. Now, if you look into all of this point here, there's a name that always comes out in everything. And the different names that always come out, everyone always have a name whereby they give to their what? To their god. You will always hear Anu as one of the major names that always come. Anu, 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 not Anunnaki. Anunnakis are called the children of Anu. Anunnakis are the children of Anu. But there's always a name that always comes. Anu. It's always a name that always comes in all culture. Anu is known as is known as what? The main father, who does nothing. He's just the father. He does not interfere in the jurisdictions of his children. But then it is said, Anu has a family, and the family are very bloody with each other. They don't like each other. Their family is filled with a lot of conspiracy. But there's one thing that is always there in all culture, which is the creation of what? Temples. See, I want you to understand my thought pattern. All right. I know some of you may know more than me, but I want you to understand my thought pattern. In all culture, every king has always been said that their God instructed them to create or to build temples for them. Are you understanding? Moses was instructed to build temple. David was instructed to build temple. Jacob was instructed to build temple. Abraham was instructed to build temple. Solomon was instructed to build temple. If you look, if we go into the ancient Mesopotamia, the different kings, the different kings that was fought against, the different kings that they fought against. You look into Alexander, you look into all the cultures of the world. There is always one thing about build a temple. Build a temple. And the ancient Mesopotamia thrived because of what? They did not thrive because of their archaeological things, because everything was already there, health, doctor, knowing how to treat the body is an ancient practice. It's not a witchcraft practice. A lot of people, it is here in Africa that we like to twist things. We twist things a lot. Now, if you look at it, it is always recorded that what? The gods came to them through the medium of the sea. And it is also said that Anu came from through the stairs of heaven. He came down. It is said that Anu came what? Through the stairs of heaven. If you look into the Yoruba pantheon of what? Creation, and how the earth was created, you will also see that it is said that what? He came down through chain. Through chain, he came down, and then he was with a chicken. What's the name of the god? I've forgotten because my head is loaded with so many information. I need to offload. He came down with a chicken, and then he has a grain of sand in his hand, and then he poured the grain of sand. This is how it was said. Now, again, this is based on the Yoruba pantheon. I'm trying to remember the name of that. Is it Elodumare or something like that? I'm trying to remember. You guys, please pardon me. I'm just trying to remember because the head is filled with too many information. But let us continue. So it has always been recorded that the gods came from the sky. The gods came through the medium of the sea to them. Now, the gods coming from the sky, the gods coming through the medium of the sea, have always instructed their followers to build temples for them. Build a place of worship for me. Build a place of gathering for me. Because in the place of worship, in the place of gathering, that is where their energy is most stronger. And human civilization thrive not in the advancement of the people, but in the building of the temples. Human civilization has always thrived, not based on the advancement of how the people intellectually are becoming, but what? In the different building of temples and structures of temples. This is how civilization have always thrived. Now, the question to everyone that is a thinker is, why does the gods always ask for a temple or a place of worship to be built for them? The question to a thinker or to anyone that is a thinker is, why do they always ask for what? A temple, a place of worship to be always built for them. In our civilization right now, do you know what is it that is the most primeval thing that every human is always wanting to do? To build a church, to build a mega structure dedicated to what? A god. Are you understanding me? Ah. The human civilization is not taking part in, okay, we have this, we have that. No, 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 no. The prestige of the human civilization is what? The mega churches that they are able to build, the mega mosque that they are able to build. You go to India, you will see different structures of churches, different structures of temples. You go to the different places, the pyramids and the different places in Egypt were nothing but different places of worship. And there are so many places of worship that has been lost under the sand of time. There are different places of worship that have been lost under the what? The sound of time. The grandeur the place of worship, the stronger the God that is being worshipped in that place. The grandeur the place of worship, the temple, the grandeur the temple, the grandeur, whatever it is, the grandeur it is, the stronger, the powerful, the place, the particular god or the deity that is being worshipped in that place. A struggle to build temples was one of the strongest things of ancient civilization, and that is also the same thing of this civilization. Civilization after civilization, they've always been a struggle for what? The creation of a place of worship. A society, whether it is the typical African community or the typical Indo-European community, whichever form of community it is, there's always a struggle for a place of worship. You look into the Greek mythology, into all the Greek Zeus. How was Zeus? You look the different sons of Zeus, the different children, the sisters and brothers of Zeus. It is also the same thing, a place of worship. And they fight for dominance when a place of worship is not given to them. So now the question is, who is El? Who is El? We use this word so completely. We use this word so easily, and because we use this word so easily, a lot of people don't understand this strong, this connotation in it. Elyon. How many of you have heard of the word called Baal? Baal. Baal. Please keep liking. Don't just keep listening. Keep tapping on your screen, share, and send your gift. Don't just keep listening. How many of you have heard of the word Baal? Have you heard of the word Baal? Right? You've heard of the word Baal. Very good. A lot of people said Baal. But do you know that Baal is also another form of El, which is also another name of El, which is also another Elyon? Do you know that? You guys, are you listening to me? Huh? Do you know that? Baal. A lot of people, Baal, 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 Baal. Christians don't like to talk about that word. Or they say, oh, Baal. Baal. But you don't understand that Baal is also another El, which is also another name, which is also what? Elyon. But they must understand that El is the son of Anu. Again, let me make it simple for everybody to understand. El is the son of Anu. And El is the son of Anu. El is called the prince of the heavens. El is called the prince of the heavens. So humans have always given records of their gods and how some of them have been able to communicate and go straight to the gods. And the kings, the essence of being a king on earth is not to become the ruler of the people, but to become the high priest on behalf of the gods. Thank you very much to everybody that is, sending your gift. I appreciate you. Do you know that? Kings, what it means to be a king is not that you are the leader of the people. You are just a high priest on behalf of the gods. Your supplication is more stronger, and hence the gods accept your supplication on behalf of the people, not as a leader. But over the course of time, this is being changed. And that is why you will see in the Bible, if let me use the Bible as a reference to you. In the Bible, you will see that what they have was the book of Judges. It is just of a recent, after some time, that they start having the kings in the Bible. But what? They were judges. And the first time when a war was to be taking place, which was through Gilgamesh, when Gilgamesh wanted to go for a war because of Gilgamesh was a Sumerian. When he wanted to go for a war because of the Arcadians were sentients and they came to sign a peace treaty. And when they came to sign a peace treaty, Gilgamesh did not accept. And what did he do? He took the request to the pantheons of the judges, to the elder judges of the kingdom. And when the elder judges of the kingdom did not accept that they should go for war, he took it to the younger generation, which are the younger judges. And when the younger judges accepted, then he went for war against against the Arcadians. And when he went for war against the Arcadians, he defeated the Arcadians and rubbished the kingdom of the Arcadians. After rubbishing the kingdom of the Arcadians, it is recorded. His victory was recorded. And since time immemorial, humans have always treated sickness, whereby it is said sicknesses and how sicknesses were being treated is in such a way of using of the rays, radiation to treat people. It is recorded in the tablet. It is recorded in the cylindrical tablet, whereby humans using rays to heal people of maladies of the body. Not just only healing people of maladies of the body, their faces are covered to protect them from the rays of the treatment that they are undergoing. And then again, it is said, it is also recorded, whereby the dead body dies, and then they use a certain form of treatment to revive the soul back into the dead body, which is basically what humans right now we are all trying to do: how to bring back a dead person to life. It is a knowledge and a fact that was known in ancient Sumeria. A practice that was done in ancient Sumeria. But even though it is said the reason why Gilgamesh embarked on his epic is to look for the fruit of life, the fruit of immortality. And while he started embarking on this journey was to look for the bread, is to say the bread of immortality. While he was looking for the bread of immortality, because even though their medical science was very, very advanced, whereby through rays they can cure so many diseases, their doctors were very advanced. They used the form of alcohol. They used alcohol to disinfect wounds. They used, alcohol to disinfect wounds. They used pots to store, different types of chemicals for the disinfection of wounds and to use it to cure and heal different parts of the body malady. But even though they have been able to get to a point where they were able to use radiation to bring back a dead person into the body, but the person does not stay long. Rather, he dies again. So Gilgamesh, wanting to find that immortality, wanting immortality, looking for the bread of immortality, he began a journey. And while embarking on the journey, he crossed through many terrains of lands, Coursing through many terrains of land, he also ruled over many terrains of land. Until he keep going, start searching and keep going to the eastern side of Mesopotamia. He keep going to the eastern side of Mesopotamia, just keep searching and keep going and keep going. Until he got there. But when he finally got there and he saw the bread, he didn't eat it. He did not eat it. Now, humans are also in the search to gain immortality. Oh, yes, rays. They use rays to cure sicknesses. Look at it right now. When a person is sick, they also use rays. There's so many rays that are being used right now to cure cancer. You pass through radiation. Radiation. They use radiation to cure people. What is radiation? Radiation is practically nothing but the sun energy, but directed in a certain way. They use it to cure people. How did they get this knowledge? Through their gods. They say they got this knowledge. And the gods always say to them, if you want to keep going, if you want to keep growing, if you want to keep making prosperity, you must keep building temples for me. You must keep building temples. So it is written that the ancient Sumerians, the ancient Akkadians, the ancient Mesopotamia, Babylon, whichever form you call it, brings in wood of expensive, the different woods, of wonderful fragrant wood they will bring and they will import from different parts of the earth. They will use lapis lazuli, gold, all, and different types of stones, and they will use it to design a big altar. And the king is the chief priest. And also till now, in some culture in Africa, the king is not just only a king. The king is the priest, is the head priest that prays on behalf of the people. And also, if you let us even look at a little connection. If you go into ancient Japanese culture, the emperor is not just an emperor, he is called the priest emperor. Because what? All he does is just to pray for the people. Are you understanding me? So in ancient days, kings are chosen not because of you rule over the terrain of these people, but you become the head priest on behalf of the people, and your supplication is listened to the more. So who is El? El is the father. El is the son of Anu. And being the son of Anu, he has children. And Elyon, Baal. You call him Elyon, you call him Baal, you call him Zuru Shaddai, you call him El Shaddai, you call him Adonai, whatever name you call him, is the son of El. And these are recorded facts. These are recorded histories. Now, what is the connection to Africa? Very good. Africa. Where does the civilization actually start in Africa? A lot of people claim and they bring a lot of words that Africa was not Africa before. Africa was called Al-Kebulam, which is good. Africa, the meaning of Africa was actually a word that was coined by by the Romans, as a land that is full with green and sun. As a land that is filled with a lot of greenery and there is a lot of sun. Africa is a coined word by the Romans. And because it was coined by the Romans, it becomes a natural way to accept the people. But it is not the Garden of Eden. Please, again, a lot of people are going to come and want to debate about this. I can tell you that Africa is not the Garden of Eden. It is the garden. It is not the Garden of Eden. It is easy. You see, one thing about people, or one thing about us, is that we like to accept things because two things. One, it makes us feel nice. That is one thing. Or we just want to accept it because of our, how do you call it, geographical connection to the place and stuff like that. But it is not the Garden of Eden. The Garden of Eden is an allegory. Again, I'm saying it again. It's an allegory. An allegory to describe something different. And because it's an allegory to describe something different, a lot of people just accept it. But there's a fact you must understand. Anunnaki is a fact. Enki, Enlil is a fact. Anu, their father, is a fact. And it is said that the gods always quarrel with each other because they want control over what? The kingdom of their father. They want control over the people of their father. And because the gods always complain, that is why it is written in the Venta Avasta that in the Venta Avasta. Is it the Venta Avasta? There's a book before that. What's the name of the book? Hey, I said the book to you guys. I said the book to some people before. I've forgotten the name of the book. Anuma Elish. It is written in the book Anuma Elish. I'm saying it so that you can read. It is written in the book Anuma Elish that the gods were bitter with each other. And being bitter with each other, they created humans as their avenger. Humans are created as the avenger of the gods. And because humans are created as the avenger of the gods, what has humans always done? Humans have always fight against each other, not because of anything, but just because of gods. They either fight with each other because of gods, or they will fight with each other because of ideas. And ideas is also another representation of a particular god. Is somebody understanding me? Ideas is also another representation of God. It's either you are worshiping him in the form of holiness, or you are worshiping him in the form of idea. Either you are worshiping him in the form of idea, or you are worshiping him in the form of words. Either you are worshiping him, whichever God, in the form of words, or you are worshiping it in the form of money, or whatever it is that piques your interest. That is a form of a particular God. You look at yourself right now. Whatever it is that is piquing your interest, that you are interested upon, is nothing but an expansion of a particular God. And it is said that Anu has 7 children. And El also is the eldest of the 7 children of Anu. Is the eldest of the 7 children of Anu. Now, the question is, why is it that the pantheons of gods always have to be 12? In Egypt, the pantheons of God is 12. In Greek, the pantheons of God is 12. The gods that live on the on Mount Olympus is always 12. There is no 13. There is no 13th God. There is no 14th God. There is no 15th God. There is no 18th God. But there are 12 major divinities. 12. 12 in the Bible, in the Quran, in different parts of the Bible. There's always 12. The question is, why 12? Have you asked yourself why 12? Anu has 7 children. 7 children. But then they have 12 divinities. Now, if you look at it and you really break it down, these 7 children are nothing but the manifestation of the these 7 children are nothing but the manifestation of the 7 planets that you have right now. Mars, Earth, Sun, Sun, Moon, Venus, Jupiter, Mercury. 7. The rays of the sun is divided into 12. Do you know that? There are 12 rays of the sun. There are 12 Adityas. And then it keeps going on. 12 plus 12, 24. And then it keeps multiplying. It keeps multiplying. It keeps multiplying. Are you understanding? So a lot of people, when people pray and they say, oh, Elohim, El Shaddai, you're basically calling an Anunnaki, which is okay. Because humans have always felt connected to a particular divinity, whether they accept it or they don't accept it. Divinity is always something we've always felt connected with. But we don't know how we are connected to this divinity. Some people say, I am an atheist. Even you being an atheist is also another name, is also another form of divination. Atheism is another form of divinity. You don't know. Not believing in anything Saying, I don't believe in anything is also good, because that is also another form of worship. Thank you very much, Mr. Casey. People say there are 7 heavens. Do you know that there are 7 heavens? People always say that, but they don't know the meaning of what that means. Why do people say there are 7 heavens? 7 heavens, 7 planets, 12 heavens, 12 zodiac, 24 heavens, 24, 12 plus 12, 24. And it keeps multiplying. It keeps multiplying. You keep doing the mathematics. You keep doing the mathematics and you keep saying how it keeps multiplying, keeps multiplying, it keeps multiplying, keeps multiplying, keeps multiplying, keeps multiplying. So the way to understand the future is in the past. And if you understand what is in the past, you understand what is in the future. When you don't understand what is in the future, it becomes difficult for you to understand the past. A lot of us, we are looking so much for the future. What is in the it is easy. Look at the past. From the past, you see what is in the future. You see what you understand what is coming in the future. How many of you, I want to say something right now. How many of you saw the natural phenomena that happened a few days ago? A lot of people believe that today is the full moon. And I made a video on the 20th, but I said I said something about the 21 being a full moon, because it is in connection to that particular event that happened. How many of you saw the natural phenomenon that happened a few days ago? Did you see the comet? How many of you saw the comet? How many of you saw the comet? Hello, everybody. How many of you saw the comet that happened a few days ago? Yes, it is everywhere. It was everywhere. None of you saw the comet that happened a few days ago? It is everywhere. It is everywhere on the internet. The comet. When you see a comet, it is the fall of a god. It is the fighting of a god. Is somebody understanding? It is not a meteorite. It's a comet. What is the definition of a comet? What is the definition of a comet? Have you guys see, again, the problem with us is that we are so engrossed in understanding things on the material level that we don't look within, we don't search, we don't see, we don't look, we don't inquire. There is an astronomical event connected to that comet. Do you know that? There is an astronomical event that is connected to that comet, but a lot of people don't inquire, a lot of people don't know. But rather, what are they going to do? The media is going to shush you up. The media is going to shush you up and say, oh, it's just a comet, don't take it seriously. Take it seriously, there is something connected to it. The television people are going to shush you up because they don't want you to look into it. But those that are the misses understand, because they know there is something connected to it. There is always something connected to it. Do you understand? The essence of science is to make things simple. No, the essence of science is to make you doubt the divinity of things. That is the essence of science. Is to make you do what? Doubt the divinity of things. Basically, to push you away from the divinity of things. And when you start getting distracted from the divinity of things and start looking at it in a very more neutral way, then you start missing the point. Then you start, what is really happening? That comment is a beginning of something new. That comet does not fall every time on earth. Is somebody understanding? A comet does not fall every time on earth. A comet does not fall every time. It takes thousands of years for a comet to come. It is the ushering in of a new divinity. Are you understanding, my people? It is what? The ushering in of a new divinity, which I've started since 2000. 2012. No, 2010. Since what? 2010. And because it has started since 2010, the fullness of control is starting. And like I said, every 3,600 years, there's a new form of man. And the new civilization that is going to start coming up right now is going to be a different kind of civilization. You look at your time when you were born, things was happening, everybody was used to things, but then out of a sudden, boom, a different way of life came to being. How does different way of life come to being? Where does that happen? People don't know. People say it is progress, but no, there is something that happens. There's an action that is happening. All right, I have laid my theory. Now I'm open for argument and I'm open for questions. Please ask me your questions. I am open for them all. Questions. I'm open for questions now. Thank you. All right, I am open for questions now. I have laid down my argument. Now I'm open for questions. Josephine Lochuchu, what of the fact that we use different calendar and we are in different time zones? It doesn't matter that we are in different time zones, but we use the same calendar. We use the same calendar. Everyone uses the same calendar, except for Ethiopia. Ethiopian calendar is a totally different calendar. The Ethiopian calendars is different. The Ethiopian almanac is different, and also the Asian almanac is also different. So the way age is calculated in Ethiopia, the way age is calculated in Asia is not the same. It's not the same. In these two parts, it's not the same, but in every other part, they use the same. So yeah, we must understand there's a reason for that. Because the English says the word, they calculate the month in 12, but the Ethiopians and the Asians believe that there's a 13th month. There is a 13th month. Now, what is that 13th month? They included Rahu. They included Rahu because what are the 12 zodiacs? What are the 12 zodiacs? We have 12 zodiacs, isn't it? Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Gemini. Isn't it? This. But now there is a 13th month because what? They included that of what? Uranus and Pluto. All right. All right. So I'm seeing some people here. I hope it is, please, I hope your question is connected to the conversation that is ongoing. Will the colonization system fall? The colonization system is already falling. But there's a different type of colonization that is going to come right now. Hello, madam.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
Hello, fine. Good evening.
Good evening to you.
I really enjoy your teaching, even though I came a bit late.
Wonderful.
I've been following you for quite some times now, but I really like this. So I want to ask a question. Is shooting star the same as comet?
No, it is not the same.
Okay, it's different from meteorite.
Yes,
also.
Yes.
Because in the 80s, to be precise, 88, a shooting star, 2, fell in my father's grave during the burial. And I have been wondering, what's the mystery behind those shooting stars falling in the night when we were all there in the village and 2 shooting stars fell directly on his graveside. So I don't know.
It fell You saw it going over, or it fell, you saw the star on the ground?
No, it came, the way it came like, as in with speed, with the speed of light, from the space.
I see.
It fell there twice. So since then, nobody could give us answer to why that didn't happen.
I see.
Yes, sir.
Again, I will need more context and more details to be able to explain. But normally, when a star falls and the direction it falls, it means either good or bad for that particular country.
Wow.
Let me give you an example. If you see a shooting star falling, a lot of people say when you see a shooting star, make a wish. Hey, it is not it is just a belief, but it has no base. A shooting star is an astronomical warning sign.
Wow.
Are you understanding?
Wow.
A shooting star is an astronomical warning sign, and it is used by astrologers and ancient seers to be able to tell when a calamity is going to befall a particular part of the country or a particular portion of a nation.
Wow.
When you see a shooting star, because you see, shooting stars don't shoot from one direction, they shoot from multiple directions. They start from one place and goes towards another area.
Exactly.
Before COVID-19 came upon the world, whereby the whole world was in total lockdown, there was warning of the stars.
Wow.
Yes. So a lot of people say COVID-19 is God's punishment. It is not God's punishment. God did not punish human. There was warning of the stars to tell that a certain calamity of a such is coming. But because people are so much in one direction right now that they don't pay attention to ancient notice and ancient practices, so they take it for granted, and hence they start looking for somebody to blame. That is the nature of people. When they don't have an explanation to something, we look for something to blame.
Exactly.
When a star falls from the north and goes to the south, it means that the head of state in that area of the south is going to die.
Wow.
Before the Queen of England passes away, the stars spoke about it. Because the star fell from the north and, started from the north and journeyed to the south.
Wow.
When it stars journey from the east and goes to the south, or any star that starts from any part of the world, east, west, and start going to the south, those region it is falling upon, there's going to be famine, there's going to be fire, there's going to be some aggression in those areas.
My goodness.
Now, when the star falls, if you see the star coming from the south and is going towards the east, that place needs to be very careful. When the star forms from the north and goes to the west, there's going to be someone, or there's going to be some progress of a very popular person. A person is going to rise to power in that particular demographical location. This is how, listen, this is how it says the star of Jesus was traced. It was not that it was shining in the sky. It wasn't shining. It was moving.
Exactly.
So stars are not falling, they are moving in a particular direction to talk and to tell about a warning of a particular calamity or a particular blessing that is to happen in a particular country. Here in Mauritius, when I see a star going from the north to the south, I always warn the people in the southern area to be careful, because it means there's going to be some storm or some, water, a lot of water problem or fire problem. And it always happens like that, because that is what it means.
Yes.
So stars is not like, it's a bringer of good. No. It's just what? Part of the astronomical tool of divination. And it has always been used since time immemorial.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, another thing, sir. These days, the teachings or the awareness, the awakening about the Anunnaki is taking over the world as we speak.
Yeah.
Many who are seekers of knowledge have delved into the ancient scripts and manuscripts that speaks about them. So the question I'm asking now is, Because these Anunnakis and the teachings about their existence is actually destroying my belief system about the Bible.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Can you confirm to me that these Anunnaki teachings are actually real, or they are just surfacing now? Why now? Why now?
No, they are real. They are real. They are real because, like I told you, like I said in the discourse that I was having, that
Yes,
Anu has 7 sons.
exactly.
Having 7 sons, they always fight for control.
Exactly.
And they rule for a particular numbers of years, precisely 36,000 years.
Yes, exactly.
Each one of them. Now, when one does not want to give up power, it becomes a power struggle.
Yes.
Yahweh is another name for the God of fire,
Exactly.
the God of war. So Yahweh is not a compassionate God.
No, very merciless.
You understand? He's not compassionate because he's a God of war.
Exactly.
So when you see the people, even when the people want to pray to him, how are they? They're aggressive. Because what? He's a God of war.
Exactly.
Are you understanding? Wow. So
Yes.
he is part of the pantheon of gods that are vying for power, that have ruled. Now there is a big shift in that cosmological changing, because if you read the book, if you read, there's always a change in power. And this happens ecliptically.
Wow.
The eclipse that happens on Earth, is, do you know that eclipse happen practically 14 times a year? More than 14 times a year.
Wow. In different parts of the world. Wow.
Yes, in different parts of the world, but similar. But the result is same for every part of the world.
Yes.
But there's different types of eclipse. There is the eclipse of the moon, and there's the eclipse of the sun. Eclipse of the sun happens practically every time of the year, and eclipse of the moon also happens practically 10 to 12 times every year.
Yes, sir.
These are different these are different landmark of warning which ancient astronomers. What is astronomy? The study of what? The stars.
The stars.
What is astrology? The study of how the stars influences the life of humans.
Exactly.
The astronomers have always known how to record the different eclipse, because the different eclipse is the different position of how the sun is going around the different zodiacs. Yes, which also represent whether the gods are fighting with each other or not fighting with it. See, humans are aggressive with each other. Why? Because the gods are aggressive with each other.
It's true, sir.
Humans don't like each other, not because it is not because of sin. Listen and listen attentively. It's not because of sin. It's because what? The gods don't like each other. And we are all different offspring of a particular god. Your ancestry lineage is an offspring of a particular god.
How will I know my ancestry lineage, the god of my lineage?
Oh, it becomes that god that you are naturally attracted to.
Wow.
You are naturally attracted to him. You understand? So thank you very much, Kesolo. So are always, it has always been like that. Your ancestors, everyone has always been like that. So when there's always a war, the astronomers, it's not just the study of how to travel within space. It's about how to understand the influence of the sun, how the sun influences everything. So they do what? They study the movement of the planet, of the sun, of the eclipse. Even the sun has a different brightness. Do you know that there are different levels of sun?
Wow.
And do you know that there are different rays of sun, and the different rays of the sun represent different things? At the same time, there are the moon. When you see the moon, sometimes you see the moon and it's like there's a cloud on the moon, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And sometimes when you see the moon and it's like there's like double rings around the moon. Do you know what that means? Have you seen the moon like that? It is bright. The moon itself is bright,
Right.
but like there's like another thing that is like a halo or halo around it.
Exactly.
But so the problem with us right now is that we are just looking and we are not paying attention. So the moon is so full. No, there's something it is saying.
Oh my God.
And those that are the astronomers, the occultists, actually the astronomers right now are people you call the NASA, which are also part of the master occultist.
Yes, true. It's true.
So they understand this. Do you think NASA believe in God?
They know there's an existence. Sorry, there is a being behind creation.
Yeah.
A designer.
Yeah.
They know that there's a designer.
But do you think they believe in him as Jesus? Hell no, because they know there are so many scripts that shows a lot of things.
It's true, sir. It's true.
Elon Musk, do you think Elon Musk believe in God, in Jesus?
No, he doesn't. Not my number.
Because he knows that there's so many scripts that speaks about different divinities, different gods.
Exactly.
But the black man is so blind. Actually, let me tell you one thing. In the time of Jesus and in the time of Muhammad, Prophet Muhammad, if you are a black man in that time, you are an infidel. Do you know that?
Wow.
You will not be given anything. You will not even be able to come closer.
Wow.
But we are taking it so much in our head. We are killing ourselves, taking it so much in our head. Thank you very much, Mr. Charles. So back to the question you were asking. What was that again? I got lost. What were you asking again?
The issue of the Anunnaki.
The issue of the Anunnaki. So yes, there are pantheons of gods, and there's always a fight for what? For control. Why do you see what? Can I ask you a question? What is the coincidence that a few days when the Roman Catholic Church made a decree and says that they are not they are removing the decree that they made in 19 something about seeing ancient alien bodies and seeing foreign things and seeing ghosts? They removed that decree. What is the connection between that and the comet that happened a few days after? Huh? Why did they? What is
they are very deep Catholics. They have materials archives in St. Peter Basilica that is amazing, which is forbidden for ordinary people.
Right? So you see, the problem with us is that we are so carried away by all those nonsensical people that say that they are prophet.
You're right.
You understand?
We're tired of them. Honestly, we are tired of them.
And that is why there's gonna be a different levels of prophets right now. And it is a natural phenomenon. This kind of prophet, they will have tattoo, they will have braided beards, they will have beards, they will have everything, because what? It's a natural phenomenon. It happens like that.
Yes.
And it will continue to grow. That so the reason for this.
Sir, recently, final thing, sir.
Yes.
Recently, I read some few days ago. China created, or rather, they constructed a dam that flowed the rotation of the Earth. One of the biggest dams ever constructed by China. And that they said it slowed the rotation of the Earth. Now, could some of these activities humanly affect the astronomical, patterns that we're experiencing, since a dam that was constructed actually slowed the rotation of the Earth? I found it so amazing and fascinating. I was like, how could that be?
That is good. That is correct. But no, that is not going to affect anything, because the rotation of the Earth is influenced by the sun. But the question to you is, why have you asked yourself, what is it that is in the moon that the astronomers are wanting to go to? And why is it that everyone is landing on the different areas of the moon? South side of the moon, north side of the moon, east side of the moon. Why are they landing there? What is there?
There's something, sir.
And again, this knowledge is gonna be It's gonna be like this. It will always continue to be like this.
Now they told us that Anunnakis came in from Pleiades, the star Pleiades. They call them the Pleiadian beings.
Yes.
Why couldn't they invade the moon?
Because
but rather invaded the earth.
Because again, you must understand that if you look into history, in history, there are civilizations. There are also civilizations of the people of the moon.
Wow.
Please, you must listen. There are civilization of the people of the sun planet. There are civilization of the people of the moon planet. There are civilization of the people of the, of the different planet. Hello, mother and daughter. How are you? Yes, Rossum. So there are civilizations, but what they are looking for is to connect to that civilization because they are there. Don't think that people are going to Mars for nothing. Are you understanding me, my brother?
Yes, sir.
There are civilizations that is there. When we keep talking about there is a dimension of existence that is existing simultaneously on this earth, it is not an illusion. It is not man-made. It is a fact. Because there are people. But the thing is, these people are of different make. See, have you asked yourself one thing? If all the life force on earth is one, why is it that some of these forces is plenty in some people and is less in some people?
Consciousness.
Why is it more in some animals and is very little in some animals? If it is more in some animals, which means what? Something. If all the how do you call it in English? If life force on earth is one, means that all element on earth should have the same amount of energy, isn't it?
Energy.
But why is it that some have it in abundance and some have it low?
I think consciousness.
Yeah, it is consciousness, but the question is, why do some animal have abundance of consciousness, lot of it, and some have very little of it, minute of it?
Wow.
Which means what? There is something that came that is influencing something.
Yeah, exactly.
And that is what is happening right now. Indirectly, this civilization is going back to the old civilization. Indirectly. I understand.
It's true.
Because what? The one that was ruling for a long time, there's a lot of war, so he's been pushed away from his power.
Yes.
And because
another person is ruling,
he's been pushed away from his power, another form of ruler is coming, and that other form of ruler is also going to impose his own belief, his own system. Is it not the same thing with government?
Yes, sir.
When one government come, they're going to impose what they want, isn't it? And when another one come, they will trash what the other one is saying, and then they're going to impose another one.
Wow.
That's what is happening. And I'm telling you, it is going to get to a state whereby humans will die and they will try to revive humans because it is a fact that was there in ancient time. They will try to revive them, but they will only live for 48 hours or for 58 hours. So now currency is not going to be the same as money. The currency is going to be based on the numbers of body that you have. Cloning.
Wow.
It is what is going to come to. You guys observe it because it is a fact. I don't know if I will be alive by then, but it is a fact. My voice will be there somewhere in the cloud. I will be somewhere, but in a different body. But that is what it's going to come to. And that is how the universe is going. So when they say there's going to be a big war, there is already a war that is already happening. It's a war of the gods.
It's true, sir.
Why do you think? Have you seen NATO before?
NATO?
Yes.
Yes.
What is their emblem?
NATO?
Yes.
Stars.
The star.
Yes.
That star is the star of Anu.
Wow! No wonder they're a powerful force on earth.
Anu is known by his emblem of a shining star. If you look, you see now look at all countries have a flag. All countries have an insignia of their flag.
Yes.
Which is a representation of a particular god. Anyway, okay. Let me stop.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
I'm
Merci.
grateful.
Thank you. The universe bless you.
Wow.
All right. Hello, mother and daughter. How are you? So please, you guys, don't just keep watching, keep tapping on your screen. Gurka to you, Gurka. Don't keep tapping on your screen. Don't just keep watching, keep tapping on your screen. Kindly share your, send your gift, subscribe, to follow, to subscribe, because your subscription goes a long way. And to all of you that are my subscribers, I really really appreciate you all. Thank you very much. But please don't stop subscribing. Keep tapping on your screen, keep sharing, keep sending your gift. Don't just keep watching. All right, thank you. What are you talking about? I'm talking about L. How L came to be, who is Elyon. So basically, we're talking about the cosmology of the gods. Mama. Annie Brown, thank you. My Purma. Yes, your Purma.
Hello, Baba.
Hi.
Respectful greetings.
Respectful greetings. Sorry, let me just answer this question. There is no representation of any god on Nigerian flag. There is a representation of a god on Nigerian flag, because what is the emblem of Nigeria? It's a sign of an eagle. What is the sign of an eagle? That is the sign of Zeus. You don't know? Yes, please. Now you can continue.
Baba, I have maybe I want to say something and tell me if it's right.
Yes.
Out of what you've said, I came to a conclusion that Christians are worshiping the god El, and it's I feel like it's in the names of most of their, like a temple, their chapel, or at El, the Bible. So is it right if I should think that way?
Yes, actually, Christians are worshiping Baal.
Yeah.
You understand?
Okay.
So yes, that's what they're worshiping.
Yeah.
They are worshiping El, because El is fighting against his other brothers. Actually, he's the first son, so he's fighting against his other brothers. He doesn't want his other brothers to rule. But you must understand that every 3,600 years, there is a change in the human consciousness. Every 36,000 years, there's a change in the rulership of the gods.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
El has ruled in different capacity in different ways. In ancient Egypt, it was known as Ra.
Okay, that was where my question was going to.
Yeah. He has ruled in
That
different
was
capacity,
like-
but the thing is, he just keeps changing himself.
Okay. So I read about the Zoroastrians, the Sumerians,
Yes.
and even the Muslims having their own name as Allah, as they say El.
Yes.
But Baba, why is it that they all have the same, different names, and different times it manifests, and different symbols for it, but it's the same God? That is what confused me.
That there is based on the change in the human consciousness.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, every 3,600 years, there's a new species of humans that comes to life.
Yeah.
New. Like, let me tell you right now, 3,600 years ago, the types of people that were the Ghanaians are different.
Yeah.
After some time, they don't know how. There's just this change of consciousness, and now they start behaving in a different way.
So that would be, but is it the influence of the new God?
It is no. This is a influence of the sun god within the consciousness of every human. Just like if you listen to the beginning of the story of the conversation that we are having, I spoke about how did the human race go from being a hunter-gatherer to becoming a farmer.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is no link to how did they just transition like that. There's no link.
Yeah.
And how did they just
Leading to
transition
the
from
Homo
being,
sapiens.
yeah, how did they transition from being a farmer to becoming a potter, to becoming a poet, to
Yeah.
becoming, how do you call it, making of ions and all of that?
Yeah.
There's no one that came to teach them, but the knowledge just comes from
Mhm.
inside of them.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So that was what I was, because the Christians would say is the rock of ages, and in their time, it's represented by a rock. So that's why they use the word rock of ages. So when I was analyzing those things, like with different religions, then I got confused there. Because I was
No,
like, okay, let me know what this is.
they use the symbol of the rock of ages, but they don't even understand what that, they no, they use that rock of ages and stuff like that, but they don't understand what that rock of ages actually means. Actually, El is also known in different name and is known by a symbol of Taros.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
understand? He's known by his
Yeah.
emblem of Taros. And if you see into all forms of God worship, their crown is always made with a horn.
Horn. But it's like I think, because this was going to be my next question.
You
When
understand?
Moses came with a horn, and it was represented by horn. I mean, some of the gods, so I was
Yes.
like, Hindus also have that. The
Yes.
cow.
Yes. So
So
their
they-
crown, they
yeah.
always say they have the, they wear the crown of horn on their head.
Yeah.
You understand? Now, wearing the crown of horn on their head, horn becomes a very good symbol for a lot of people in whatever practice. The ancient, in the Torah, the Christians, like people that follow the Sabbath and
Yeah.
everything like that, well, they use the horn. What did they use the horn
Yeah.
for?
To anoint.
The Igbos use horn also, but they don't know why they use the
Yeah.
horn.
Yeah.
But oh, I'm going to use it to speak, but because of what? It connects to what? The head, the crown of the head.
Yeah.
Just like when you take the skull of humans and you pour drink into the skull and you use the skull to do some things, it is powerful.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. That's it. So, and what else? Let me get that. I'll come back again with another analysis. Thank you very much
Thank you very much,
for the
Messi.
information.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Acha to Mohammed. I am the chosen one. I am the chosen one. What does that mean? Chosen for what? Hello. 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 Okay. I think he's having some problem with his. Okay.
Hello.
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 Hi.
Hello.
I can hear you. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, I'm enjoying your the program. You know.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Okay. What is your question, sir?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I don't. Actually, I don't have a question, but I think I get you some. I want to thank you for the educating people, because it's not easy to see people that teach people about gods,
Thank you.
So I really just want to thank you. I don't have a question.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. May the universe bless you. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for the gift, Mama and Jenny. Thank you. Yasharia. Thank you, Mama. Yasharala. Hello.
Good day, brother.
Good day.
Hi, good day. What's up? Hi.
Hi.
I just had a couple of questions. I mean, I like your topic, regardless. You know.
Thank you, Mr. Jeff. Yeah. Okay.
You hearing me?
Sure, I can hear you.
I'm gonna name a couple. I'm gonna name a couple of nations, right? If you could tell me a little bit about their gods, I would listen up carefully. Hindustan. You familiar with the gods of Hindustan?
Hindustan is not a nation. It's an abbreviation of a word. Hindustan has Hindustan has no meaning. Rather, it was a coined word. It has no meaning. Rather, it is a coined word by the British to describe the people that live on the other side of the Hindu Valley or the other side of the Hindu River.
Okay,
which is a river that separates.
Understood. Understood. Let's just deal with the gods then, since you're dealing with the gods. The gods of Kemet. You familiar with them?
The gods of Kemet. Kemet has many gods.
As you mentioned before, Ra.
Yes, they have many gods. Osiris, Thoth, so many other gods.
Yeah. Yes. What's your understanding on those gods?
What do you mean exactly?
What's the word you have? Like, you familiar with the creation story?
Yes.
Okay, so what do you consider, because that's that nation of people sort of way of life, right? And the gods there differs from other people gods, or would you consider them the same?
There is no difference, because if you look at it properly, the only difference that was there is the description of the gods and how the ancient people of Kemet or Egypt, use in giving a description, because in Egypt they use histography as their way of writing. But now histography is also one of the ancient way of writing in ancient Mesopotamia. Sorry, not histography, hieroglyphics. Hieroglyphics, that is the way of writing of the ancient people of Egypt.
Correct.
But now hieroglyphics is, when you look at it, it looks like a new language or a foreign language, but there is also a similarity of that hieroglyphics in ancient Mesopotamia, in ancient, apart from the people of Sumer. There's an ancient writing. What would you
call it?
Sumer.
And what would you call that?
You call them the Sumerians, or you call them Sumers. Yeah.
Before hieroglyphics?
Yeah, they have a writing that is similar to that, to hieroglyphics.
Similar?
Yes. Okay. And hieroglyphics
was just a general question. Okay, so you're familiar with the gods of Kemet, gods of Egypt, gods of hieroglyphics. Okay, so the gods of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the gods of Egypt, how would you consider them? Are they the same or different?
The gods of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Yeah.
How
do you consider those gods other than the gods of Egypt or other gods upon the face of the earth?
First of all, the God that Abraham believed in is a God that he said he communicates with, that comes to communicate with him. When Abraham left his country of birth, which is Ur, when he left his country of birth, Ur, he was told by the God to leave his country of birth, Ur, and he started communicating, with the God. And when that God was embarking to go and destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, that God came with his two children. They came together with him. That God dined and ate with Abraham. Abraham saw that God. Are you understand? That God.
So you consider that God a real God, or do you consider?
No, it's not a real God. It's just among the pantheons of God. His name is El.
So the Abraham God name is El?
Yes.
According to your understanding?
Yes. Which you call Yahweh.
Okay.
You call different names and everything. And also, if you look into the Torah, it says to people, "Thou shalt not worship."
I believe Yahweh was the Canaanite gods, and before the Canaanites was another people, but Canaanite gods, Yahweh was a Canaanite god.
Yahweh, El.
Because Yahweh comes from, you don't get Yahweh from Paleo-Hebrew or Phoenician Paleo-Hebrew.
No, you do have it there. You should read
You don't get Yahweh from that tongue.
No, it is there. If you read the Hebrew Bible properly, the book of Hebrew, you will find it there. You know, about Yahweh. And how did Yahweh came to be? Yahweh is a combination of two words.
Well, yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying.
You know,
clearly,
being a combination of two words, you know, the people, actually, if we talk about it as it's supposed to be, you know, if we are to look at it and speak about it as it's supposed to be, who did Abraham speak to? Who is the God that Abraham spoke to? Abraham spoke to an Anunnaki.
Well, according to the language of Phoenician Paleo-Hebrew, the name of the God that Abraham spoke to was Yahweh.
Yahweh.
According to the language. Yeah.
Right. Again, everyone have their own understanding of that.
According to the language and the tongue.
Yeah, according to the language and the tongue, that is what is written. Where is that written?
Well, that's research and going back to the actual Paleo-Hebrew, Phoenician Paleo-Hebrew. That's
first of all, when you look, no,
languages after hieroglyphics.
Okay, I respect your own thought process, but when you look into the ancient language, you must understand, you know, that the ancient language have their understanding or their words from ancient Arcadia. So now there is what is called the Indo-European, you know, people, which are called the Aryans. You see, the Aryans are another form of species of humans that are known to be knowledgeable, more knowledgeable than the ancient people of Sumer,
yes, I'm familiar.
Ancient people of Arcadia, and ancient people of Mesopotamia. Now, if you look at the combination, Hebrew that we have right now is nothing but a derivative of the ancient language of Mesopotamia, which is what ancient language of Babylon. Now, again, if you look into that, there's also a connection.
That's the Hebrew. That's the modern Hebrew now, which is Yiddish. That's not Hebrew. I'm talking about ancient Paleo Hebrew.
Let me land now, my brother.
Ancient Paleo Hebrew is different than the Hebrew that's being spoken now.
So
by whoever.
So
it's Yiddish. So a Slavic language.
Okay. Which is what? Slavic language, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's the modern Hebrew. That's modern Hebrew. That's with the Dutch to give you the sound.
Okay.
That's
all right.
Yiddish.
No problem.
That's not Hebrew.
Okay. What exactly is your question?
That's not Paleo-Hebrew.
All
that's
right.
modern Hebrew, which is considered Yiddish.
Okay.
It's a mix-up of Slavic languages.
Okay. All right. So what exactly is the question?
What they currently speak in Jerusalem right now today.
Okay. All right.
So, as I said, if I go back to Paleo-Hebrew, in the modern Hebrew, of course, you're going to get Yahweh, but I'm not speaking about modern Hebrew. I was speaking about Paleo-Hebrew. And remember, Abraham broke off his father gods, and he broke up his father idols, which he considered was idols and idol gods. And he went to serve according to the scripture, or him says, to serve the true and living creator, which is Yahweh. Bahash, you know? So this is why I ask you, if you have the understanding of the difference of gods, because ancient Kemet always have had their gods, and Sanskrit, which is on the other side, always have had their so-called other gods too. All nations had their other gods, which they call it a way of life or whatever they call it. Today is called religions of different nations.
First of all, I would like to correct.
And the conception
I would like to correct.
Okay, go ahead.
I would like to correct a certain notions of everything you've said a few minutes ago. First of all, you spoke about Abraham, breaking his father's gods, and speaking to his father that, hey, I thought your gods can eat, but they are not here to eat. Now,
correct, yeah.
If you look into this, you won't find this more in the recent Bibles and stuff like that. But if you look into the Ethiopian Bibles and stuff like that, there's a narration of Abraham being coming from Nimrud and all of this, etc., etc., etc. But this is also a cut off from an ancient Vedic text. Are you understanding?
What do you mean by that? I didn't get the word properly.
It is a cut off, which means what? It is how do you call it in English? A borrowed narrative of an ancient man from the Vedic, a plagiarized story of an ancient man that lived during the Vedic period. Because the oldest form of record.
What would you say is plagiarized?
Let me explain my point now, sir. I listened to you to explain your point. No one is fighting with you. So this plagiarized word is a narration of another man in the Vedas. Because if you look at the man in the Vedas and you look at these narrations, then you see that everything is just nothing but a certain thing, same narration from one particular source, but being spoken again by different people. But now they are adding their own spice, adding their own flavor, adding their own things, and then now passing it on to their own generation.
Their own twist and their own flavor.
Voila. So if you want to know,
so my
about,
question to you is,
wait now, let me conclude. If you want to know about the Bible, or you want to know deep interest of the ancient Sumer, you need to read Sanskrit. Because Sanskrit is one of the oldest, not even the Hebrew, because like I said, the Hebrew is also what? Like, whatever form of Hebrew
of still pass Egyptian though.
No,
Sanskrit
it is not.
Past Egyptian. Egyptian go past Sanskrit like 2,000 years.
No, it is not. your
I mean, when I say Egyptian, I mean like hieroglyphics.
No,
hieroglyphics go past Sanskrit like 2,000 years.
No. Your studies is wrong in that side. Your study
1,500 years. Then.
No, my brother, your studies on that is very, very wrong. You need to make your studies again. Sanskrit is among the oldest known language.
So, okay, you're saying Sanskrit is older than Egyptian hieroglyphics?
Yes. Rather, the people of
but according to history, they say, not me, I'm not saying, I'm the one that's not saying, I'm only repeating what they say. They say Egyptian hieroglyphics is older.
No, but, it's not.
Regardless of whichever way, that's fine. Yeah. I'm not debating that. I'm not come to debate anything.
Yeah.
I just come to hear you out.
Sure. I like that. I like that.
I don't come to debate anything, but I just come to hear you out.
I understand.
Honestly speaking.
Oui. I understand. And that is why I'm also listening to
my question to hear you out on this topic is, again, there were many gods prior to Abraham, we all know. Whether they be real, fake, not real, eating or not eating, regardless, gods were gods.
Mm.
But according to Abraham, he had the only true and living God, that which was able to consume, eat, smell, right?
Mm.
These things. So that means it's a living God, according to Abraham, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I like that you mentioned him. So my question to you is, I don't know if you're familiar again with the true actual name of Abraham God in Paleo Hebrew Phoenician, which is Yahweh, and it's not Yahweh.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
So, does it make a difference to you, I'm asking, whether the God is of an idol, deity, that never consume, cannot eat, smell, or drink? Or does it make a difference to you if a God who's actually living, that can eat, smell, consume, and drink, You know? Does it matter to you?
All right.
Or should it matter to us?
Actually,
as people on the whole.
Actually, it shouldn't matter to us as the people of a whole, according to my own perspective. You understand? It shouldn't. Because when we talk about the God of Abraham, ate, smell, and then in the book of Leviticus, it is said, to worship the God, you have to put off incense. Incense to worship the God, you have to light the best of incense, and then you have to sprinkle the blood, which means that he does not actually eat the flesh, he drinks the blood. I'm quoting from the Bible. You have to sprinkle the blood upon. Wait, let me explain my point.
Okay, sir.
I have the Bible here.
I mean, remember, one is living and one is not.
No.
Remember the question I asked you is for the
yes,
one that is living.
One is living and one is not living. Again, I want to. You see, when you ask a question and you want a teacher to give an explanation, the teacher is not just going to answer you yes, no. No, my duty is not like that. I don't answer. I give explanation.
Okay.
You understand? I give explanation.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir.
If you look into the book of Leviticus, let us again. This is not a read Bible, but let us just use it. It's the book of is the King James Bible.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. You look into the book of Leviticus. It is said. Where is the book of Leviticus? Just a minute. My brother. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate you. In the book of Leviticus,
take your time. I'm here.
Chapter 16. In the book of Leviticus, chapter 16, it says, chapter 16, let us read, if I'm to read from text 1, from the beginning, it says, and the Lord spoke unto Moses after the death of the two sons of Aaron, when they offered before the Lord and died. And the Lord said unto Moses, speak unto Aaron, thy brother, that he come not at all time into the holy place within the veil before the mercy seat, which is upon the ark, that he die not. For I will appear in the cloud upon the mercy seat. Thus shall Aaron come into the holy place with a young bullock for a sin offering, and a ram for a burnt offering. He shall put on the holy linen coat, and he shall have the linen breech upon his flesh, and he shall be gilded with a linen girdle, and with the linen mitre shall he be attired. These are holy garments, therefore shall he wash his flesh in water, and so put them on. He shall take on the congregation of the children and 2 kids of goats for a sin offering, and Aaron shall offer his bullock of sin, which for himself, and make an atonement for himself and his house. He shall take the 2 goats and present them before the Lord at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and Aaron shall cast lot upon the 2 goats. Are you understanding? He shall cast lot upon the 2 goats, one lot for the Lord and the other lot for the scapegoat, Azazel. And Aaron shall bring the goat which the Lord fell, and offer him for a sin offering. But the goat on which the Lord fell for the scapegoat shall be presented alive before the Lord to make an atonement with him, and to let him go for a scapegoat into the wilderness. And Aaron shall bring, where is it? And shall kill the bullock of the sin offering, which is for himself, and he shall take a censer full of burning coal, coal of fire from the altar before the Lord, and his hand full of sweet incense beaten small, and bring it within the veil. And he shall put the incense upon the fire before the Lord, and that the cloud of the incense may cover the mercy seat that is upon the testimony, and that he die not. And shall take of the blood of the bullock and sprinkle it with his finger upon the mercy seat eastward. Before the mercy seat shall he sprinkle of the blood with his finger 7 times. Which means, if you look here from this particular portion of the book here, it is not the flesh that God eats, it is the blood. Why the blood? Now, why when people sacrifice animals or when people sacrifice things, what is it that is most important in the sacrifice? It's not the body that is killed. It is the consciousness that is in the body, which is the blood. So consciousness flows.
The life is in the blood. Okay.
Voila. So consciousness flow round within the blood. Now, when you spoke about is the God of Abraham a living God or a dead God? Now, that is very, very contextual. It is very, very contextual because if you look in all forms of religion, whether a human is being sacrificed, or a sheep is being sacrificed, or a goat is being sacrificed.
I'm not cutting you off. I want to get to your whole general statement because I love what you read. Two things I have to say, but let's stick to the point first before I have a little sense of humor. You read that to say that blood is the life and the God, which according to Abraham said is a living God. Why will he want the life of the blood if he's living?
No.
You're trying to say
no, that is not
personally.
No, that is not what I was intending. What
Say,
I was saying,
dead, that's why he won the blood of the living.
No, what I was trying to imply in that is that the blood is what carries consciousness around the body.
Okay, yes, I agree because the blood is life. Yes,
the blood being that which carries consciousness around the body, which means for that divinity to survive, he needs to eat the consciousness of that which is being sacrificed to him.
Understood what you're saying again. Yes.
Very good. That is the point I was explaining.
So as he's doing such attribute, right? As this God is doing such attribute, does that mean he's not living because he's consuming the living consciousness? Or does it mean he's not living consciousness himself because he's trying to consume other living consciousness? Or does that mean, maybe he just have another agenda? I don't know.
We're just thinking out loud, it means that he is not living. Because his living is only based on.
What I was asking you.
Yes, that is what I was explaining to you. But you don't. When you ask the teacher a question, the teacher is not going to. Yes, he's not living. No, I'm not going to do that. I don't go around like that.
No, that's what I first asked you. I asked you if your perception of that reading that means that he is not living.
He is not living.
So this is the reason he's trying to consume living sacrifices.
Yes, he is not living. He is not living, and because he is not living, he needs sacrifices to be able to sustain himself.
Which is the life of the blood.
Yes.
I understand what you're saying. Okay. Let's just go along with that then. Fine,
okay.
Right?
All right.
Okay. Let's go along with that understanding.
Okay.
Okay.
Finish?
So then again, that should make him live then, right?
No. You are trying to twist it. You are looking for ways to twist it.
I'm asking.
No, you are looking for ways to twist it. You must understand that since time immemorial, there is a fight between all the gods to want to become sustenance, to want to become, living. Why? Because they are creations of egregores. Do you know what is an egregore?
A what?
Do you know what is an egregore?
A demi.
I said an egregore. Do you know what is an egregore?
No, sir. Maybe I'm not understanding the word you're using.
But an egregore is a mental creation of a divinity. For that divinity to survive, he needs the mental thought of the people. Wherever one or two people are, an egregore is being created.
So it needs to be worshipped then.
Sorry?
It needs to be worshipped and sacrifice has to be always given.
Because without the sacrifice, he has no essence. That does not make him.
But that's all the gods then. all the gods.
But of course,
As from what we know.
all the gods are like that, except for
That's
one.
all the gods, whether they be living,
Except
whether
for
they be
one.
living or whether they be dead, whether they be considered living or dead.
Except for
That's
one.
all the gods.
Except for one, who is called Anu.
Okay, now this is where I'm going to come back to this question. Except for the one God, because he has to be above all.
I didn't
gods.
say, I said
Is that the
except
thing?
for
And he-
one who is called Anu. I didn't say the God of Abraham. Anu is not the God of Abraham. You are trying to twist the words around. Don't be too smart, my
Right.
brother.
I agree.
Don't be too smart. I am
agree.
smarter than all of that. Don't go around the bush. Understand?
But we're not debating.
No one is debating. I'm not debating with you either, but I'm just telling you, I'm trying to state a point so that you understand.
Right. So now that you call that God Anu, who is above all gods, so why are you saying that? Is because that considered the first God or something? Or is that considered the God that got through with knowledge to enter into life after death? Which is the reason you're choosing that God?
Because
that's my question. If you want me to ask the question
all
again,
the pantheons of God, all the pantheons of gods have their origin. And Anu is the origin of the pantheons of gods.
Okay.
And being the origin of the pantheons of God, he has kingdoms that he does not interfere with. His children fight for control of the kingdom.
Understood. I have a documentary that I watched about maybe 20 years ago, or maybe about 18 years ago, where all the scribes of Egypt who did all the transcribing of the hieroglyphics in the coffin text and all the coffin texts, right? Hear me out. And they did it for the highest God of all the gods, which was Anu, according to the name you called. And this documentary documented ancient Kemet with the highest God of Kemet and ancient gods, which was Anu. And I never forgot that documentary. It's very old. I don't know if I could still get it, but I know what I'm speaking about, and I could research it and get it again. Now, Anu entered into many doors after his subscription in the coffin text, which all the scribes has came up with, and all the astrologers and all the philosophers came up with the greatest of the greatest coffin text, and they mummified him with all the greatest of the things to enter the afterlife, right? In his coffin text. But when he entered into many doors after the afterlife, it showed you where he entered into a door, and the door didn't have a room, and he went into the abyss, which is Hades, and he failed, like literally failed, because he did not have the correct sequence of the proper coffin text, because according to the documentary, the scribes didn't have it together, and all the astrologers and philosophers, they didn't have the coffin text properly inscripted in his coffin. So he entered into the wrong door, and he ended up into the Hades, and he failed. That God you're speaking about, they called Anu.
First of all, that
Yes,
documentary, you are speaking.
No, he was one of the most ancient.
Okay, can I speak?
Huh?
Can I speak?
Sure.
Okay. First of all, that documentary you just spoke about, you just made it up in your mind.
No, sir. I will never do such a thing.
Let me explain my point to you, my brother. You just made it up in your mind because what you are trying to discuss, you are trying to explain about a pharaoh. Wait now. You are trying to give the description about a pharaoh of Egypt who was mummified and how his journey through the different world, and then there are incantations to guide his soul through the underworld But because the incantations
I'm
was not
speaking about Anu.
no
Anu in particular. Anu
my
in
brother,
particular.
you are not talking
I'm
to a
telling you,
small baby.
brother, I'm gonna add you and I'm gonna send you the video.
Sure, please send
I'm
it.
gonna add you and send you the video.
Please, not a problem, send it. But I'm
For
telling
real, I really do.
wait now, sir. From
That's what I tell you.
wait now.
18 years ago,
Again, wait now. Let me explain. Let me explain to you. Let me explain to you. Yeah, there is no documentary about that. I can tell you, and I beat my chest proudly, because what you are trying to give an explanation about is about a pharaoh in ancient Egyptian. I have heard of that story, but it is not about Anu. No, it's about a pharaoh.
It was many of them.
Wait now.
But Anu was the
no,
original top
no,
guy.
no. Now let me explain one thing again to you. When it talks about entering into different city, into a place with many doors, it is an allegory to explain the journey of the soul in the body.
Yes, it's an allegory. I agree.
Wait now. An allegory to give an explanation of the soul in the body. And the body is a city with many doors. But not just only many doors, but a city with 9 doors. Are you understanding?
Well, you're familiar with what I was talking about, right?
But that is not a
express it or
description.
explain
It is not a
because it was so
description of
long ago.
Anu.
But you're familiar with what I'm saying, though.
The body
Go
is
ahead,
a
I'm listening.
city, a garden with 9 doors. And these 9 doors, that is the body, have different guidance that are guiding the doors. And the soul, being in the body, is looking for ways, or when death comes, look for ways to come out of the body, out of the city, with 9 doors. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you know that your body has 9 gates?
No.
Okay. Yes, indeed.
I am honestly answering you.
Okay. Thank you very much for being honest. Your body has 9 gates. And in this city of 9 gates, the soul is present there. The soul being present in this city is under the impulse of his wife, which is the mind. Are you understanding? Now, being under the impulse and the direction of his wife is also under the impulse and the direction of his children, which are the 5 working senses. Now, the soul in this body of 9 gates, when death comes, it tries to climb the ladder or the tree of life, which is the spinal cord, to run to the top of the cranial point of the head, which is the skull, but not being able to hide in anywhere, it is forced out of the city of 9 gates through the heat that comes upon the body, either extreme heat or extreme cold. When an individual is dying, the individual feels extreme heat in the body or extreme cold in the body to force the soul out of the city of 9 gates. Now you have 2 eyes, 2 nose, 1 mouth, 2 ears. Already on top of you, on your head, you have practically 6 gates. On top, no, you have 7 gates on top of you right there. Now, then the anus and the genitals and the anus, which is the rectum, is the 8th and the 9th gate. So the soul looks for a way to come out of this gate. If the soul comes out from the lower gate, which is through the anus or the genitals, then the individual, when they pass away, they pass stool or they pass urine. 99% of the people that die nowadays is their soul falling through through the lower doors, through the lower gate, which is through the anus and through the genitals. And that is why you will see a lot of people, when they pass away, they always pass stool and they always pass urine, because the soul is not able to come out from the 7 upper gates, which is the place that helps them to go to a more better destination in their next life. Are you understanding?
Okay, my brother. I understand exactly what you're saying there, right? Okay. But here what's going on, right? Back to the gods. So you don't think out of all these gods, right? I don't care whether big, small, whoever fought, didn't fight, whoever say they're living and not living, right? Well, according to you, there is one God, which is Anu, right? That's according to what you just said, right? Okay.
There is the supreme.
But let me just flip that coin for a minute, right?
Okay.
Let's just look at it this way. I looked at it your way, and I understand exactly everything you said. But just let's flip the coin for a second, right? Let's say at the beginning, there were always many gods, because always nations always worshiping all sorts of different things or different items or whatever nature, whatever as gods, right? Now, all different nations have all sorts of different creation story of different gods, okay? But flip the coin. There are some gods that is fake, not real, like not the main God, like not the original, living, true creator of heaven and earth. You understand? Not the above. Let's say all the other nations, right, are fake and not real and all idols, which all stem out of Christianity or all stem out of Egyptian mythology or all stem out of Egypt or Kemet, right? Which is the different gods of Kemet, but they are all not real. And then the God of Abraham now, like I love the way how you was reading that. You actually sung better than a pastor, not those demonic pastors. You sound like a true man of the scripture when you was reading that. I really, you sound like a Levite. You sound like one of Aaron's son. That's how you sound to me when you was reading that. Understand what I'm saying to you? No. According to Abraham, let's just say on the flip side of the coin for a second, his God is the true and living God, and there is no other besides his true and living God. And the true and living God decided to reveal himself unto this man and unto his offsprings and unto his seed. And he made a promise and an oath to this man and unto his offsprings and unto his seed on the flip side of the coin. Let's say that is the true thing. And that is the absolute fact thing. Right, my brother? Now, what would you do if that was to be the only true and living creator of the heaven and the earth?
If
and
that
you
was
personally, yourself, happen to come from those people, what would you do?
if that was the original creator of the earth, I will actually reject him because that means he's a very partial person.
Partial?
Yeah. You see, there is a mountain.
But according to the word, he's not partial.
No, he's very partial.
He's no respecter of persons.
No. That means he's very, very partial.
He's racial, if you ask me.
No, he's very.
Does racial mean partial?
Partial, and he's a racist.
Let me ask you this: does racial mean partial?
Yes, partial. Yes, but of course.
Okay, so what is wrong with being racial?
That means.
What is wrong? Okay, if you let me ask you, Gosvani, if you are a god or you are the father of a nation, what is wrong with you just loving your people?
Which then
something
means
wrong with you just loving your people?
Then that means, see, if I'm being partial to a particular group of people, it means what? I am protecting them from some other group of people that I am afraid of, isn't it?
No. Let's put it this way.
Wait. No. Let us use no. Yasharala. Let us use no, Rasharala. Let us use your own analogy. You flip the coin.
Well, can I give you my analogy, please?
Wait, no. You just did.
Give you my analogy.
But you just did.
Okay, go ahead.
You flip.
No, I didn't really.
You flip. My analogy now. You flip the coin and says, supposing if it so happened that the God of Abraham happens to be the one true God, isn't it? Which then mean, because you see, there's always a two side to everything. I said, but of course, I said I will reject it immediately, because what does that mean? It means that that is a very partial person, which means that if that God of Abraham is saying, I only want you, then that means is what? He's saying that what? He's saying that other people, I don't want them because they are not of mine, which means what? He is a selective and is a sectarian God, which means for a person to be selective and sectarian is two things. Wait, is two things. For a person
isn't that
to be,
how people are on the whole?
let us.
You familiar with Idi Amin? Are you familiar with Idi Amin?
See, you are not. We are having an intellectual conversation.
I'm asking you a question.
Yes,
are you familiar
I know.
with Idi Amin, brother?
Yes, I know Idi Amin.
All right. When Idi Amin made the comment that he don't want a certain people in his country and he give them 19 days to live, 90 days to leave, is that a bad thing? He wants his country for his people.
So means what? Which means what? There are people that Idi Amin feels a terror.
Right. Right, because he said those are not his people. It's simple. What is wrong with that?
Which is very good you brought this topic up. In the book of Matthew, so meaning that if you accept this, then it means that you are saying that Master Jesus the Christ is also a racist.
Well, I don't see anything wrong with loving your own people. This is basically my point.
Very good.
This is why I don't disagree with Idi Amin.
Wait.
If Idi Amin said, look,
wait now. Wait. I'm very wait. I'm very point. Wait. No. Wait. I'm very, very happy with what you just said right now. If you said
it's a decision. Look, if you have 12 pairs of sneakers and you decide to just love one and wear it all the time, it's your decision. Who could say that you don't like it the most?
Okay, so if you have 12 children and you just love only one, what does that mean?
It's natural.
No, it's a question. It's a question to you. If you have 12 children and you love only one,
do you love all mangoes? Do you love all mangoes? They have many different mangoes. Do you love all mangoes the same, or does it have a particular mango you like the most?
If I am God, if I'm a God, I will not see any difference between all mangoes because they are all from one species.
You are a God.
Dude, I am not saying we are not contesting. You see, the point is you are jumping from one point to another point because you don't want to be cornered.
I'm proving my point.
You are not proving any point. You are feeling that you are being cornered, and hence you are jumping from one point to another point. That is what you're doing. That is what you're doing.
Okay, if I'm a white
First
man,
of all, wait, my brother, wait.
It's my decision.
Let us be gentlemen. All right, let's be gentlemen.
It's natural for me to love my own people.
Okay, very good. Very
or
good.
to love what I want to love, or choose what I need to choose to love.
Very good.
The most.
Very good. Very good.
It's nature.
Do you have your Bible there with you?
Most times, yeah.
But are you with a Bible right now?
Presence, but go ahead. I'm familiar with scriptures.
Okay, so let us say we are reading from Matthew chapter 15.
Okay.
All right, let us start from text 21.
24?
No, 15, 21.
24?
15, Matthew chapter 15, text 21. Let us start from there.
Okay.
Then Jesus went.
I know you was gonna go there.
No. You don't know I was going there because I just brought it up to you right now.
I said Matthew 15 and 24.
No.
You say Matthew 15 and 21.
I said start from 15, 21. Then Jesus went thence and departed into the coast of the Tyrian and Sidon. And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with the devil.
Grievously vexed with the devil,
and
right?
he answered her not a word.
Right, he didn't answer her.
And his disciples came.
So, all right, let's
Let me finish.
Hold up, brother.
Dude, you are not wanting me to finish. Why are you doing that?
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Enjoy your point. I'm sorry.
If you are doing that, it means that you are trying to hide something. What are you hiding?
No. Okay. I was gonna ask you what is wrong with that he didn't answer her a word.
No, that is not where I'm even going.
Answer her a word
that is not where I'm going. Wait.
Okay. Because he called her a dog, but
and his disciples came and besought him, saying, Send her away, for she cried after us. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Then came she and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me. But he answered and said, It is not meet to take the children's bread and cast it to dogs. You understand the point? So the point is, if you are saying God is for everybody, and God is saying it is not proper to give my gift to everybody, then that means what? It's a partial God. Which means there are other, that means that God also identify other gods as also being ruling. And please, who muted him? Why is he muted?
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Muted me, I don't know.
Yeah, because there was some noise coming from your side.
I never said, listen, my brother, I never said God is for everybody. And if it was me, and I was given an order, I would have done the same. Because I cannot take the children's bread and cast it to dogs. It's as simple. I don't see anything wrong with that.
So which means that...
And I love the way how you understand that Bible, though, my brother.
Yes.
I love the way you understand it, because that is the way it's written. Yeah. He didn't bring the gift, and I love the way you said it as a gift. He didn't bring the gift to anybody else but the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That's who the gift is for. It's not for anyone else.
Very good.
This is what loving your own people is.
Very good.
My brother. So, listen.
So
he was sent, first to begin, according to scripture, according to what is said, not what according to what I say. He was sent. Someone sent him, right? So if someone sent you to do something, and you just obey, and you do not disobey, and someone send you to your people, and I come out of the same coast of where your people is, and I'm begging you for assistance, and you have bring food for your people, have to get food first before anyone else. Brother, let me tell you something. This is not a smiling matter. This is a very serious thing. Okay. You see? Because if you go back in other scriptures, as you want to read it, all nations is as nothing, is as spittle. Okay? I don't see anything wrong with that. Because if you are the potter, my brother, if you are the potter and you make 12 clay pots, you could make clay pots to honor and you could make clay pots to dishonor. You could make clay pots for just you and your boy shooting range and just shoot them and mash them up in pieces. And then you could also make clay pots to honor, to put in your house as the most beautiful thing that you have created and you have made, because you know what you made it with and you know the art you put into making it with. But the other ones that you made for your friends and them to just shoot down at the gun range, you didn't put any effort into that, my bros. You shoot it down and destroy it. It doesn't mean nothing. I could make that back. It means nothing. But my ones that I have in my house, you shall not break that. So that is what I made for me to honor. It's a simple understanding, brother. You make things to honor and you make things to dishonor.
Your logic is very, very...
I don't see anything difficult with loving your own people.
Your logic...
And this is why I brought up Idi Amin.
Your logic Your logic.
Idi Amin shows a lot of love to his people by making that statement, even though he did not get through thoroughly. But his intention was to have his land for his people, not no outsiders, not no people who come in to oppress his people, not people coming to destroy his kingdom or his people. If anybody got to destroy his kingdom, let him destroy it. Let his people destroy it. He said, all the Indians have to go back to where they come from. And I agree with things like that. You know?
Then this means that your logic, your reasoning, and your way of life is very, very
straightforward. How about that? Use that word, straightforward.
No.
If you're not my people, I deal business with you.
No, it is very,
you can't
very.
Get what I have for my people.
It is filled with.
Listen to this. I have water. I have water for my people, running water. I have supplies for my people. I'm not sharing that to other people. Is something wrong with that? All nations does that. Even still today, all people do that. In your house where you live in, and you have for your children, you don't take your food from in your house and just go give it to down the street, down to the other people's houses. You have to have food for your house. You're preparing your food for your house.
All right, enough.
You could buy $1 million in food.
Okay, enough.
You're not going to go and give it all away.
All right, thank you very
to
much.
Other people and strangers.
Okay, no problem. Thank you very much.
It's just my point.
Sure. Your point is wonderful, and I
thank you for having me.
I appreciate
live.
your point. Thank you. Merci.
I thank you for having me on your live.
All right.
Appreciate the time.
Bye.
I just want to say the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Bye.
Is the only true and living God.
This is a problem with people. This is the problem. The people is that you can't. You see, after reading all of these things, and then you're saying God is not partial, and your pastors preach you that God is not a partial God, and which means that you, that is an African that is listening to the sound of my voice right now, if you were born during the time of Jesus, you will be called a dog. You'll be discriminated upon. Even you that is following Islam right now, that is listening to the sound of my voice, which means during the period of Islam, you'll be what? You'll be a dog, you'll be an infidel. If this is his saying, because look at the logic, which means the logic is totally far away. Not me, I would be an Israelite. Okay. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. then that means that is not God. If God does not want you to mingle with people, there's something wrong. How can it be? If he creates something that is wonderful and then, see, if I have a child and one of my child is disabled, will I say because that my child is disabled, I'm going to throw away that child? My God, man. Man. Anyway, I'm going to peace and I'm going to pass urine and I'm coming back. Just give me a few minutes. I'll be back. Oh my God. All right. Thank you very much for your patience. And yeah, we're back now. All right. Where did I stop? Okay. So, no more questions. Please don't just, watch. Please, we have 116 people here. Please, let's get this like to 100 like. And please kindly, don't just listen, send your gift, subscribe. The subscription goes a long way in helping us, in supporting us in a lot of things. Hi. Yes. Hello.
Hi,
Hi.
how are you?
I'm still alive.
I'm Patricia from Kenya,
Hello,
and
Patricia.
I have this question.
Hello, guys
that
on YouTube. Yeah.
I have a mark of Om on my left hand. So
Okay.
I was asking the meaning of that mark on my hand.
You have the mark of Om.
Yes.
Okay. So what is the meaning of the mark? That's the question.
Yeah, I don't know the meaning.
I also don't know the meaning.
Wow.
I also don't know the meaning. You see, one of the things with us is that one of the nature of us is that we try to look for meanings to things. But some things don't just have meanings. Do you understand? That is one of the nature of us as
Yeah.
humans. From the beginning of time, we are always trying to look for meanings to things. But those things that we are trying to look for meanings to are actually things that we shouldn't pay much attention to, but we pay too much attention to them. Just like right now, if you're here, if you have the mark M on your hand, it means you're going to be a millionaire. 99% of the people that have the mark M on their hand are not millionaires.
True.
If you have the mark M on your hand, then it means you're going to have money. I can tell you 99% of the people that have the mark M on their hand, they don't even have up to 100,000.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Or you are going to be spiritual. 99% of them are not spiritual.
Yeah.
Because it is not necessarily about spirituality. That is the nature of us is that, again, we look for meanings out of things that don't have meanings, and we try to look for reasons to rationalize it.
Okay.
But I can tell you for a fact, people that have the mark M on their hand, they are they are easy to get depressed. Do you know that?
Wow.
Okay, let me not go into that. But again, that is just something for you to just a little knowledge. It's not don't develop on that, but just know that they are prone to depression, they are prone to sadness quicker, they are more sensitive to what people say. But that is not like it's the spirituality or it's this or that. No. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my question.
Okay. Thank you very much, Patricia. I appreciate it. Please follow so that you can follow our classes.
Yeah, I have followed already.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. There is Jenna.
Okay, hi, Baba.
Hi, Jenna. How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay. I was like watching you, observing you, and I was like, okay, when Baba, it's like you had so much like patience with all of us, I would say.
Actually, it is the other way around.
I'm
It is you guys that
grateful
have
for
patience
that.
with me.
I have always. You're like bringing always this. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Okay, so I can hear you, Baba. I was like also like thinking like that, like looking from a child view, like the things that like was starting like to reveal on my road, because I'm only talking what I experienced. was like before like reading Bible in details, okay? Then I started to check like books, different kind of books, because some things which I seen was like from the Bible, some things which I seen was from another book. So I was like connecting the puzzle. So it was kind of interesting how it's nice to connect the puzzles. But in general, like these things about dogs, like from my perspective, which is blondie perspective, okay? It's like you know that in Maui, in Hawaii, there is like a kahuni, and they are regulating like energy. For example, that you are just like this guy who was here over here, he was just putting like all this low vibrational like statement. He could not even like discuss, okay? And he could you could like even regulate him with the simple word of like, okay, but you have nice for example papageis or something, and then the energy is regulated. And like according to Jesus, he was like having like similar teachings like to kahuni, because they were like also trying to regulate like these things. Like for example, when he was like changing, like he was coming over somewhere, he didn't need money, he was just coming to home. And then he was like for example, he always needed like something from water to wine, for this to something. And he was like unbelievable at some points for some people. But as you are walking, like we are all walking, like we are still want to develop more and more. And this is like an example. Yes.
Yes, it is.
And by like going to the childhood, I have like still like a childhood like child mind. I'm like curious always. And I think obviously, like there were like some not apostles. I would not say about 12 apostles, but like about something different. That some of these people who are writing like some scriptures in this book were delulu and didn't have a solulu. Okay, but there are some parts which are like accurate for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, if you talk about that, yes. And I would like to expatiate on this in a little way for everybody to be able to understand. Just a minute, let me touch this. Let me connect this one to life. First of all, let us speak about the 12 apostles. The 12 apostles of Jesus. Jesus have more apostles, but it is 12 that is recorded. And the 12 that are being recorded are actually, they are very, very contradictory in their conversation, because what they spoke about is different from what is being understood. What is being understood is different from, what is being spoken about. And because it is different from what is being, spoken about, just a minute. Okay. All right. When you look at the letters of the apostles, it doesn't rhyme. Like in the book of Mark, Mark says Master Jesus met the Greek woman. Matthew says Master Jesus met the Canaanite woman. So there's always contradictions in their explanation. It is understandable that everyone have a different perception of how they understand the teacher, but then there are contradictions. When everyone have a different understanding of the teacher, that is understandable in a class, but there must be a connecting dot. The disciples of Jesus the Christ, did you know how they all died?
No, I don't, Baba. I don't know how they all died.
They died very
statement? I don't know.
Badly.
Yeah.
Thomas
Probably at that
was,
time.
Matthew was nailed in cross. That is like in different ways. Mark was even was beheaded. Different of them was, one was even killed in a sword fight in India. So many of them died differently, but they all died very painful death. None of them died a simple death. Now the question is, people don't understand and ask question, why do they die like that? If what the teacher came to teach is about peace, then it will be understandable. But then again, I'm going to say that the teacher, which is the Master Jesus the Christ, did not come to teach about peace, but rather he came as a political figure. He is actually a political figure for the throne of Israel. And because he is a political figure, that is why when he was being arrested, the Romans did not have any problem with his teachings. Are you understanding? The Romans did not have.
Yes, I do, but I want to listen.
The
Yes,
Romans
yes.
did not have any problem with the teachings of Master Jesus. No. They didn't. They did not even interfere in his activities. But because Jesus was preaching, and he was known, he was like a radical that was conversing for what? That throne of Israel. Mm-hmm. And because he was conversing for the throne of Israel, what happened? The Pharisees went to meet the Roman pontiff and they said to him, we only know of one emperor, of one king, and that is the king of Rome. That is the Caesar in Rome. We don't know this person that is trying to come and proclaim himself as king. You understand? And when he was asked, is it said that you are the king of the Israelites? He say, it is as you've said it. So you must understand that it was more of a political figure. He did not even come to preach about love. He didn't come to preach all of these things that is being preached about by people right now, because a lot of people are preaching things that is far away from what he actually came for. And they are spreading it wide and far. And those that know what he actually came for, they understood him for what it is. The different people came to meet him. Nicodemus came to meet him, and all of those people came to, not because he is a Messiah, but because what? He is seen as that heir to the throne of what? Israel. Mm-hmm. And because he was seen as that, because he was that, because he came to preach that radicalism, because he was a political radical, that is what make him to be crucified. And when he was crucified, what was he called? What did they put on top of his head?
Thorns.
No, not on his crown, but on top of what was the name that was put on top of his head on his cross while he was crucified? Here lies Jesus, the King of what? Nazareth. I understand it.
Yes.
So and that word that was put was also a political sarcasm to this. Oh, this person say he is the king of the Israelite, but this is him here. So when you look at it properly, and you really observe it and you study, then you come to understand how the Masonic order is and how the things of the Masonic order, how it has been. But people try to always want to, because of people and also because of the teachings of this man coming into power, Constantine coming into power, and then radicalizing everything because he wants to gather the people in one place, because he wants to be the ruler. And how do you rule over people? Give them one common religion. That is how you rule over people. In a place whereby people have diverse religion, it is impossible for you to rule over them. In a place whereby everybody have different masters, it is difficult for you to rule over them. Why? Because one is going to say, my master did not say this, so I'm not going to do things that my master did not say. Mm-hmm. So bring them under one umbrella. And how did it start? it was with blood. Christianity has killed more people on earth than any other religion.
That's true. That's
Islam,
true.
people say Islam is, but I'm telling you, Islam has not killed more people as Christianity has. Because what? They killed people because how do you reign over the minds of people? Put fear upon them. By putting fear upon them, then you can have reign over the people. And that is what they have done. And
They are
people,
still doing it.
a lot of people accept Christianity not because they understand what that God, represent, but because of what? The fear that has been inculcated into the society since time immemorial. Now that fear has become something that people carry over in their head, that the moment they want to do something, they do, hey, I'm doing something against God, so God is going to punish me. So that fear, just like how do narcissist people, people that abuse people, or people that are, how do you call them? There's a name that these people that put people under their control, so that they can smuggle people. How do you think they do this? They do this by putting fear on top of the person.
I think, Baba, that like this kind of people that they are like try to get robotic people, try to keep them on the lowest forms of aggression, violent, fear-based, like everything that they are putting to their head. They manipulate with certain vibrations as well, like hertz.
Yes.
And a different one.
Yes.
And that's really poor because I'm so sad about that.
Yes.
Because that is it's like what we are like we are like giving water to every single persona and every single situation. Yes. And what they are doing, that they are putting only poison.
Yes. That is the truth.
And it's like I was like thinking about this like so much today. I was like, so I don't want to like swear on this, like, but it's like was like too much for me. I was like disappointed. I was like, okay, people, what are you doing? I was like looking at all the houses. I was like in my mind, wake up.
It's difficult for people to wake up because the fear is so ingrained in them. It's difficult.
And even though like this is like so well played from them, unfortunately.
Yes, it is.
Because they are putting like certain vibrations and hertz, and they are like affecting like every single thing.
Yes.
And if you are not strong enough, you are like in the porca miseria land.
That's true. That's true. That's very true. And that is why right now there's a radicalism.
And they are using symbols which are specific. And you have to do like opposite symbols to have like a peaceful mind.
Yes. That is true. You see,
I was like, well, yeah.
You see, the radicalism that is happening in the world and that is going to happen in the world right now is going to be a certain kind of radicalism that people, that deity called Jesus is going to die, and another Messiah is going to come. It is a fact.
I think, Baba, like from my perspective of thinking as a blondie.
Why are you calling yourself that?
Yeah, I am. Like I'm created that way. It's like for example, we are carrying genetic code, and it's like Jesus as well was carrying genetic code. Yeah. And as we souls, we are like traveling in time. We are a soul. Yeah. We are going through 9 like spaces like from a body. Yeah. But Jesus as well. Yeah. And he can come back. We are coming back. Yeah. We are in the cycle. But this life for me is the last one on earth. Yeah.
I have no comment on that. I have no comment on that.
Yeah, it's the last one, Baba. It's the last one.
May it be so for you.
Yeah, so much to be like really.
May it be so for you.
Okay, I have like a question because I'm from Polish culture. It's a bit different. But I'm always like interested in different cultures. I'm open-minded for every single thing. I can re-evaluate my mind because I'm open-minded. But in general, I was noticing like white people, because in Poland, we are in Europe in general, we are not wearing like so much of a colorful, like we are wearing like, for example, dresses like women. But then I was like wondering, okay, on this day they are wearing this color. On this day they are wearing this color, and I was like going into it, and I was like asking why, and I went like from this, okay, they have like certain days which are wearing colors, okay. Then I figured it out that it's according to the planet. Then I figured it out that it is connected to Olympian spirits.
Yes.
Like, it's unbelievable. And then I was like, okay, and this is doing that, this is doing that, and how is like that possible that I didn't know that? And then I was like, okay, there are some in the Bible, even you have incenses, but in Olympian spirit you have as well incenses. And I couldn't find it on any Google application. Nothing, niente. Then I just download like some Russian thing to find like the solution. Like, it's like, okay, I'm a researcher, I like to search. And I was like wondering, but then there is an hour, and I didn't like math at all, like in my life. I like math, like, but basic, but it's like according to astrology math, oh my God. There is something else. You have like a certain hours, which you have like this Olympian spirits, okay? And I think like there are like beautiful things connected with that. But it's like, for example, you can relate that to Palm as well, because on Palm you have like also planets, and they are related to this Olympian spirits, eh?
Yes.
Or no?
Yes, it's true. The whole body of a human is nothing but a almanac. You see, there's one thing people don't know, and this is one thing I try to, speak to people a lot. And what is that that people don't know? People believe in Master Jesus the Christ. They believe in Jehovah, whatever. You understand? But they don't understand that the days of the week is ruled and influenced by the different gods. You can't say Monday, the day of Jesus, Tuesday, the day of Jesus, Tuesday. Who's that? Joe Palmist. Hey, Joe Palmist. Hello, my brother. Good evening to you and welcome. I appreciate you. So you can't say Monday, the day of Jesus, Tuesday, the day of Jesus, Thursday, the day of Jesus. Every day of the week is ruled by a particular planet. Monday is the day of what? Moon. Tuesday is the day of what? Mars.
Mars.
Yeah, Joe the Palmist. Thank you very, very much, my brother. The universe bless you abundantly. Welcome, my brother. So, Wednesday, the day of Mercury. So, Thursday, the day of Jupiter. Friday, the day of Venus. Saturday, the day of Saturn. And Sunday, the day of the Sun. So, every day of the week is ruled by planet. Every hour of the day is ruled by planet. And because
But the question is like, which I didn't like recon from any website, any book, any like thing, which I'm like really frustrated.
Yes.
Is like an hour, exact hour.
You're
like,
the promised.
Because I'm a Polish time,
Thank
and
you.
it's like how to get the correct hour, because there are like few different things, and I was like, okay.
Okay, let us do it. Let me make it simple for you. It's very simple. Look at the hours. You have a clock in your hand?
Yeah, no. But it's like I have on my phone.
Greetings to you, Joe the Palmist. Everybody, please help me say hi to Joe the Palmist. He's a wonderful brother. I appreciate you, my brother. So look at the time in your phone. Every hour of the day is influenced by a particular god and influenced by a particular zodiac. 1 o'clock is the hour of Aries. Now, there are two sides of you must understand there are two sides of the zodiac. There's the positive side of the zodiac and there is the negative side of the zodiac. So 1 o'clock is called what? The Aries hour. 2 o'clock is influenced by the zodiac Taurus. 3 o'clock is influenced by the zodiac Gemini. 4 o'clock is influenced by the zodiac Cancer, and that is the period of emotion. 5 o'clock is ruled by the zodiac Leo. 6 o'clock is ruled by the zodiac what? Virgo. 7 o'clock by the zodiac Venus. And that is the hour, 7 o'clock in the evening, 7 o'clock in the evening is when people start getting tempted. Oh, they want to enjoy, they want to rest. The 7th hour, after the man has walked all through the hours of the day, he goes to the 7th hour to want to rest. Then you have 8 o'clock, the hour of Scorpio. Then you have 9 o'clock, which is the hour of Sagittarius. 10 o'clock, the hour of Capricorn. 11 o'clock, the hour of Aquarius. 12 o'clock, the hour of what? Pisces. And it continues like that. So it's basically the sun, the center of the clock is basically nothing but the dial of the sun moving from one zodiac to the other zodiac. Are you understanding? So
yes.
Look at it. If this is it, then this is to the man that came up in the beginning, and then the man started telling me about Jehovah is this, Jehovah did that, blah blah blah. Then what is the almanac? What is the time about? The time is simply nothing but the influence of the different gods, because there is no one God that is ruling over this earth. There are multiples of gods, but 7 primary. Are you understanding?
Yeah, I understand.
There are multiples of gods, but there are 7 primary. Now, the 7 primary have 12 dominion. If you look in the book of Revelation, how many seals does it bind the book of Revelation? 7 seals.
Yes.
Oh, and then he says you have to break the 7 seals to be able to see. And how many spirit of God? How many spirit does God have? 7 spirit of God. Now, a person that does not understand that the Revelation, the book of Revelation was actually a portion of the book of Kabbalah. Zipporah of the Kabbalah. But now people don't understand that. So what do people do? People look, oh, it is what? No, it is part of the book. It is part of the Old Testament, not even the New Testament. But now people, because of what? They are ignorant. And being ignorant, they want to, hold tightly to what isn't even for them. And I can say it again. If you were born during the time of Jesus, you will be considered as a dog. You will not even have chance to come closer to him, because Jesus did not come for the world. He came for the throne. He was actually not declaring himself as the Son of God, but he was declaring himself as the rightful heir to the throne of what? Of Israel. And that did not sit well with the kings, because they were debating it. How did this fellow that came from Ethiopia wants to start debating and some wanting to come and take over the throne of the kingdom here? We must understand it. When we don't understand this, we'll just keep talking, and then when we come to places, we'll make a fool of ourselves, unfortunately.
Okay, and I have another question, Baba.
Yes.
For example, we are according to Bible, Earth is like a devil land, for example, and God is how to say, he's above devil, and whatever plans, devil is according to us, he's going to God or no, and it's the Lucifer is not bad. He's a morning star, by name, even in the name. The worst thing is it is that you have is 2 sides. There is 2 sides, Baba, of energy. You can sense it. I just want to know what you are thinking, even about this, about the influences. Because we are for now we are dual, and we are both.
First of all,
not...
the earth.
Yeah.
The earth is not the place of the devil. The earth
is not ruled by him, by a Bible, meaning?
No. The earth is not a place of the devil. Where is it written that the earth is a place of the devil?
Because it's like, it seems like there is like a lot of things which are doing with all these politicians and everything, like to like not have like for
Jenna.
people like a good life.
Jenna.
Yeah.
Do you know the meaning of sin? What is the meaning of sin?
It's like it's like a main evil altar in all, like how to say, by according like to the Bible, like thingies. That is a main altar of evil.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Sin is a name of the moon. S-I-N. People say, oh, you are a sinner. You are a sinner. Which was, you are a sinner. You are such a sinner. You did repent from sin. But they don't understand what is the meaning of sin. Abraham in the Bible and everything like that, he came from which city? Do you know the city he came out from?
No.
He came from the city of Sin. The city of Ur. Ur, in another word, means the moon. Sin is what? Emotion.
Yeah, my ancestor told me not to be emotional.
And what happens? What happens? It is said Abraham is left to say, it is told that Abraham should leave the city of sin. And again, people don't understand that that is an allegory describing the state of the consciousness, which means it is only when you detach yourself from your emotion that you start seeing reality as it's supposed to be. Can anyone do anything that is not influenced by emotion?
Oh my God, it's like you have to be a robot. My ancestor, I think they want me to be a robot, and it's like not possible.
No, what it means is to see with rationality and not let your emotion to overcarry you. If a person gets drunk, emotion is out of the context. The emotion is overflowing. What for any action, whether anger or not anger, or jealousy or not jealousy, emotion is overflowing. So when I said to Abraham, leave the city of Ur, means what? Leave the city of emotion and use logical thinking to live your life.
I'm only emotional when somebody wants to hurt like people who are not doing anything wrong.
Voilà.
Or I'm emotional when it like comes to certain things, and it's like I'm also emotional. I'm an emotional person.
So everyone on earth is an emotional person. And if anybody wants to preach to you, what do they use against you? Your emotion. Can anybody preach to you and tell you something about and use the future against you, if not your past? So again, when people don't understand this concept and don't see it for what it is, and that is why when someone asks me, why do I follow what I follow? I say to them, because this is what makes the most sense to me. Detach yourself from your emotion. When people say, I'm depressed, I'm sad, oh, this person betrayed me, is what? Emotion. If a person goes to steal, can a person steal without emotion? Can you kill a person without emotion?
What? Can a person what?
Can a person kill a person without no emotion?
They can, because they are robots and they are like...
No, an emotion is required. Either the emotion in extreme hatred, extreme anger, emotion is required.
But I think, Baba, like really, that Like, okay, my ancestor don't want like for me to be emotional, but look, like for example, like if like we are like, for example, there are like good emotion, bad emotion, depends, like sadness, happiness, everything and stuff, and everything is for something. And then, like for example, if we are greeting for some time, like some emotions, because we are humans, like we can greet and we can do certain things like singing, like writing, like with a certain emotion, you know, and then we can say goodbye, and then when it comes again we say okay, it's natural thing, we are humans.
All teachers of yore have only come to teach you how to rise above your emotion, not how to kill your emotion. The teachings of Jesus is not on how to distance yourself from other people, but how to master your emotion, which is your own Ur. You are in the city of Ur, which is within you. Is somebody understanding me? To rise and to master your emotion. And that is the reason why we keep dying again and again and keep coming back again and again. What is the difference between Jesus and you? What is the difference between the divinity and you? There is no difference. He dies and he resurrects. You also die and you resurrect many times, but in different body.
There are like some differences.
No, there is no difference. Show me one difference.
Papa. There are like some so differences.
Tell me one difference.
Every single one of us carry different genetic codes because it's based on the things that we went through, the lives that were in the past.
Okay, now let us do something. Why did Jesus die and resurrect after 3 days? Why 3 days? Why not 7 days? Why? I believe you are from an Orthodox Christian background.
Not at all. Whisperers.
Okay.
It's like a different thing.
Okay. So to all of the people here, then why
But
did...
I like to learn.
Why was Jonah put, when he was thrown overboard, he was in the womb of the fish? For how many days? Was he in the womb? Was he in the stomach or in the mouth of the fish?
Once again, Baba.
Jonah was in the mouth of the fish for how many days?
I don't know.
He was
like
there.
I guess 3.
He was in the mouth of the fish for 3 days. Why?
See, I guess no. Surprise me, Baba, today.
Why? Why was he in the mouth of the fish for 3 days? Nobody can say why he was there for 3 days. Oh, he was there in the mouth of the fish, and after 3 days, he was released from the mouth of the fish. But no one can explain to you why Jonah was in the mouth of the fish for 3 days. Why is it that Jesus was in the tomb for 3 days? Why did other apostles, or no, not other apostles, why did other messiahs that has been recorded in history, what significance do they have with that number 3? What significance? Because the 3 is the number, is the movement of the sun. When the sun goes round the zodiac and comes to the sign of Gemini, it stays in the sign of Gemini. What is the sign? What is the significance, or what is the numerical number that depicts the sign of Gemini? Are you familiar with astrology?
I am, but not with this.
So the sign of Gemini, what is the numerical number that depicts the sign of Gemini?
I was thinking about this. I was like,
3.
My brain was like going in and out. Like,
3.
But no. 3.
When the sun goes round the zodiac and comes to the sign of Gemini, it is in the sign of Gemini and it rests in the sign of Gemini. So Let me leave it. Let's leave it. Let us leave it because I'm getting pumped up now. Let us leave it. All right. Any other question?
Okay, no. Mm, about the Bible for now, no. Yes, it's like I want for you to laugh. Okay, the last time, like when you were like blindfolded, and when you were like speaking to my ancestors. Okay, and I was like, after this talk with my ancestor, I went to clean the kitchen. I was like almost crying.
Wow. Why?
No, they were like mentioning about being emotional. That was a number uno. Number two, they were saying, okay, it's like Angelica, like it's like you're not gonna be happy in marriage, like at all. It's like okay, and I was like, okay, that's great.
Wow.
They were like mentioning something about 6 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But
I was not aware
like
of all of that though, so I don't know what to say to that.
Yeah, it's okay. I was like, okay. And I was like almost crying. I went like, okay, like in calmness. I was like, okay. I was like questioning myself. How can I not be emotional? I was like even speaking to them. Yeah.
So means you need to master your emotion. You don't need to allow your emotion to overwhelm you.
Yeah, but it's like why my ancestors don't want me to get married, or
Any man that
like
masters his
forever,
emotion is the knower of all things.
Once again, Baba?
Any man or any woman that masters his emotion is the knower of all things. All right?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Jen.
Okay.
Is this Jenna or Angelica?
Angelica.
How many accounts do you have?
2. One I have like my original, and the second one with stones. Baba.
I see. Okay, Angelica. Okay. All right. All right. All right. The universe bless you.
No, you too, Baba.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Let's see.
Bye.
Okay. So I have 2 people here. I'm going to attend to them, and then I think we are going to call it a night. Is Joe Palm still here? If he's still here, I really, really appreciate you, my brother. Thank you very much. You know, thank you very much, Mr. Joe. I appreciate you. Hello. Hello. Do you guys here on YouTube have any question? Hello. 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 I don't think this person is there. All right. Thank you. Smith Theopolis. Maybe. Hello. Hello. Okay. They are not here. All right. I don't see any other question. So I'm going to end here on YouTube. Thank you guys. You guys are just wonderful. I'm ending here on YouTube. See you another time. Thank you very much for being patient to hear us and listen and everything. The universe bless you. Bye.